You are now hailed with less uncertainty, shall we say, and definitely more reverence. You have shown up, you have achieved great things. The city is open to you, celebrations to be had, and there are some the Dawn Marshals, the leader of the city, have offered you some form of reward. They need some time to think about what they might wish to possibly give to you to express their thanks. And maybe you might have something in mind that you might wish of the Dawn Marshals. Their power is limited in Tal'dorei, but their resources certainly are not here in Vasselheim. So, and that's pretty much it. You guys drank, you guys celebrated. It's Baron's Eve out here. Some of you have done some gift giving, and some of you have some gift giving to give. And we're going to go to that right now. So I believe Beverly. Who else was it who passed around? Ember did. Ember passed around gifts. And I think there might be some other people who might have gifts to pass around. If maybe not. But we will certainly find out. So we'll pick it up there. You guys are in the Velvet Cabaret, which seems to be your new steading for a little while at least. And yeah, you guys are sitting around your table having a little Velvet Cabaret breakfast. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm still in for gift giving.
Is that volunteering? Zarvolg?
Yeah, sure, I can go.
All right.
All right. So, Zarvolg will start out. Looks like Glint is next to him, which works out nicely.
Oh yeah.
Lee will. Can you hear me? Okay, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, he'll turn to Glint and kind of look down at him and smirk a little bit, and he'll say, "If I was going to have a dwarf, you're not the worst dwarf." And he will hand Glint a mystery key.
Oh. Interesting.
And one spell scroll of first level that Zarvolg didn't know what it read.
Oh.
Picked up earlier in the campaign. It was in my inventory. We were told that we did not know what it was, so feel free, Ryan.
All right, we're gonna find out what that is.
Ryan's like, shit.
Surprise, DM.
There's going to be a lot of those, so get ready.
Okay, already. Early in the campaign, you say?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely first level.
I need it to be something ridiculous.
None of us were able to read what it was at the time. So
understood. Glint, make me a very easy Arcana check.
Sure.
A very, very easy Arcana check.
At 21.
Oh man, you read the scroll to learn of its untold powers. What could it possibly add to your repertoire that you do not have yet? I know what it is. It is the spell Grease.
Oh.
Yeah.
Useful one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a wizard spell.
Thank you for the gift. I'll inscribe this into my book right away. For a moment, I thought the compliment was the present.
Oh, I'm told there's more than one. And so
good.
So we'll move on. Ember next, I guess. Will make his way to Ember and say, so I probably should explain. Gift giving is not a tradition that I've grown up with. not something that I'm familiar or comfortable with. But Yvaine tells me that it's something that we do during certain times of the year for people for whom we have a certain affinity. I respect you and your ability to deal with people at certain times. And he will hand him an Eyes of Charming that he acquired at one point.
Wow. That is a princely gift, sir. I'm without words.
Have a happy holiday.
And to you.
Moving on to Finch. Right?
I love it.
I do too, right? Moving on to Finch. He'll clap Finch on their big metallic shoulder and be like, what do you give to someone who has everything? I mean, you can move a little faster sometimes. And he will hand Finch a ring of teleportation.
Oh,
Fuck.
Hello?
The what?
oh. This is very nice. Have to look it up and see what it does.
Yeah, me too.
Ring.
These are all. So we had various, these are all things that I've acquired throughout the campaign and never used because Zarvolg didn't have reason to use them, but has kind of squandered them. Let's see.
You
Oh,
had a ring that let us teleport?
Yeah, I imagine everyone at the table's like, what? We went through all the way through the forests? Vasselheim with an assassin?
I can't find it in the inventory. Is
to
it a
be-
special
Into it.
item?
it might have been.
I don't think I ever gave you guys a ring of teleport. I'm sorry to say.
Really? Right.
Yeah,
Okay, but the funny joke is that Zor tells Finch that's what
I
it
know.
is. Totally not.
I
know.
I have it in my inventory right now, Ryan. You can look at it.
Okay, I'm
It's
definitely gonna go
actually
look at it.
okay. So it's actually, it looks like the real item was some sort of helm,
The helm of teleportation?
right? But that I got it in ring form.
Yeah, that's like a samurai helmet.
Those are like extremely powerful, high rarity items.
When did you get this?
That would have solved the last two adventures.
Oh, what is going on?
Can it teleport like it doesn't say but there's no specificity with how many people it can teleport either.
Yeah, no, it's just a full teleport spell like 3 times a day. And that recharges.
Oh my
like,
god.
No, when did you get this?
I purchased these things along the way, or found them in treasures or whatever. Like they're in my inventory because
Carmen, you're muted.
I remember. Okay, so when we were in Westron, right, there was a fair, and in the fair there was a tent, and in the tent there was a trick foot.
Oh,
That's right. It was like random shit. Yeah.
oh fuck.
But it
Okay,
is a
I
ring of
remember now.
teleportation, and it did come with a disclaimer.
Yes,
yeah.
I remember now. Okay. Whew. Okay, I remember what this is.
Does it actually work?
I don't know. It's a
It
ring of teleport,
teleports.
bitch.
Random places.
At least Zarvolg thinks it's a ring of teleportation.
That's what you were told. That's what you purchased. I believe you purchased it rather cheap, if I recall.
Yes.
Super
Yeah,
cheap.
okay.
Super cheap.
Woo! I was stressing there for a minute.
I'm glad we all collectively remember.
Ah, okay. Please
All
continue.
right. Next.
But also, that would have still been funny.
Next.
Ryan's still recovering.
It's kind of nice to see Ryan all anxious for once. Usually we're the ones freaking
Yeah,
out.
that never happens. He's like, what did I do?
Yeah, man. What have I done? My campaign. My carefully, beautifully crafted campaign.
Okay, but is this a sign? Because I feel like this is like the third item Finch has that can just teleport them away from everybody.
Well, be
Three
careful, I
Zarvolg.
might use one of these.
In fairness,
Yes.
Zarvolg was thinking that it would teleport them to the enemy.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
All right. So
We're
now,
having mimosas. I feel like we should be drinking.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas morning. Isn't there some sort of glog or mulled wine, cider?
I think that the Velvet Cabaret is giving out their Raven Queen themed drinks for half price today. Because this is the day of the Raven Queen.
Oh, that's right. We're drinking for the Raven Queen today. Huzzah.
Yeah, this may be Winter's Crest, but it is also Baron's Eve, which is the day of the Raven Queen. The day of death.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll get to that.
Yep, we'll get to that.
all right. Next. Beverly. To Beverly, he will hand a puppet that looks like a little wizard. And he'll say, I know this looks like a toy, and I know that you're no longer a child. However, I do think there's a magical place in between. And he hands it to her and he says, this has 3 charges of minor illusion. Use it wisely.
I will. Okay, thank you. She puts it out immediately and like maybe when Finch isn't looking, she kind of like just kind of like let's claim it a little bit.
Nyx.
Look at me, I'm Glint. I'm Glint to cast a spell.
Nyx. All right. I appreciate the things that you've done for the party so far. You jumped into kind of deep water, and you've been invaluable so far. I think that takes a lot of insight, and I think it's fair that a little bit of perception should go with that. And so from around his neck, he'll take off the eyes of the eagle and hand those to Nyx.
Damn.
I don't even know what to say, Zarvolg. Thank you so much.
Those came straight from a griffin. Use them honorably.
You have my word.
And finally, Yvaine. And he just kind of smirks at her for a minute and waits because he knows she's impatient. And then hands her the Oni Dream Cleaver. That'd be
He's
all.
like even as she just like runs up and jumps and like if he's not braced for her, he's going down. She's only got a strength of 9, so like probably not because she's not very sturdy, but but she's coming at you with a big old hug and probably like a supersonic.
All right.
Blast cracks.
She's very, very happy.
All set.
I love it. It's wonderful. I'm already attuned to it. It's great. it's very lovely. It's wonderful. Thank you. Just a polite little kiss on the cheek.
All right.
Covers.
And with that, I am finished.
Fen looks up at you from the side and kind of.
Every day's a holiday for you.
Kind of paws at your leg.
Should have left you stuck in the swamp. Kill Steve.
We're getting you a steak, love. We're getting you a steak. Don't you listen to the mean man. We're getting you a steak.
Kill
She's gonna speak in Sylvan, which Zarvolg does not understand.
True.
And tell her first son that she'll be getting him a steak later on. Not to worry.
He knows the word for stick. I don't know if he knows the Sylvan word for stick. So he kind of like hears you and like looks at you and looks back to Zarvolg and keeps like rests his head like on his lap, like, and looks up at him.
You get to live another day.
He's getting a steak. You're getting a steak. He's getting a steak. He's getting a steak. Do you believe this guy? He's getting a steak. All right. Do I get to go next?
Yeah, you get to go next. Ben sort of lets out a little like, and kind of like as he backs away from you, Zarvolg, you get poked by one of the Minotaur horns, and he kind of like walks away from you. Kind of gets you in the rib a little bit. Definitely not intentional. Yvaine.
So she's got all this stuff that comes out, but she's going to start with Beverly actually, and say,
Huh?
So you already know, because I couldn't wait, because I was excited. But if you'll hand me the spear, let me show you. I don't think I've ever told you about it.
Oh,
And
sure.
if you hand the spear, so the spear tip is actually a tooth from the red dragon that we all slew, and the gems around it are from its hoard. And I think that Glint did something with the particular wood as well, but Glint actually made this. It was so extraordinary that the Moonweaver came down and touched it. And I just, this is your spear, of course, but I wanted you to know its provenance, as it were, because I think the things that made it and who made it are very much part of the gift.
I didn't know all of that. I just thought it was a really, really pretty spear.
Yeah, no, see, at the time, we were fighting something and I knew that your weapon couldn't hit it at all. But you're very good with the spear, you're keen with it, and I just have sort of felt lately that it's not an intelligent weapon, but I sort of just felt like it was yours, so it's yours.
Oh, well, thank you. I really like it. It feels really good to wield. So thank you.
And
Thank you very
also,
much.
It lights up when you want it to, so it helps when you can't see in the dark as well.
Yeah, I can't see in the dark very well. So this is great. Thank you.
Then she goes to Nyx. And she said, so there was this one day when we were traveling from Zephyra, which is a city where the Ashari are. You don't know who the Ashari are, but the Ashari are a tribe of druids that are broken into the 4 elements, and each individual tribe lives by an elemental rift that goes between Exandria and that elemental plane of whatever. My home is Terra, and by the elemental plane of Earth. I don't know why I'm telling you all of this. Oh, right. Anyway, so we were going from Zephyra, which is from the Ereshari, to Western, which is where a lot of this all started. But there was this one really, really beautiful day. And the sky was just particularly clear, and the water was perfect. And we had a picnic, and Happy started walking off, and he made flowers, which is great. But also, he did something. He picked up a stone, he worked it in his hands, and then he was done. And she looks at Happy to make sure she gets the nod from him. And when Happy gives the nod, she'll give it to Nyx. Happy made this. It's an echo stone, and when you squeeze it, it'll record like a 20-second message, and then if you squeeze it twice, it stops. I was thinking maybe you could use it as part of a show or something. But it's very special to me, and I wanted you to have it because I haven't had a good use for it, but I just think that you would. So there.
Thank you so much, Yvaine. Something literally made by happiness. So, what a sweet little rabbit. What a sweet person. Thank you so much. I'll cherish it.
Above the table, we think of Happy as a rabbit, but what you would know is that he's actually an almirage. Like you've seen his.
Sorry.
So no. The only you can refer to him as a rabbit. The only reason I'm saying is that you would know that whatever was crafted was actually crafted by Fey magic. He's from your homeland.
That's right.
So this is
Thank
like a
you.
little, like I was hoping it'd be like a little piece of home.
I love it.
And then she goes to Glint. And she has a scroll and a bag of gold. And she says, your gift comes with a little bit of labor that I don't know how to do. So that's what the gold is for. Someone very special to me made this for us. And the scroll itself is special to me. But I'm not a wizard. So it's useless. And I don't think that's the way to honor. I don't think that's the way to honor a wizard. And so I hand you a scroll and this bag of gold. And the name of the spell is Honor's Dreamwalk. This is the spell that Honor had made. So I would love it if I could have Roxy and the little when she says Roxy, the rock feather quill pops up. I would love to have Roxy make a pictographic copy, but I don't understand the arcane. So I don't know if it's possible to have like a picture of it in her handwriting. Because I know when you put this in your book, it would be destroyed. So I'm giving you money to put it in your book in the hopes that maybe Roxy could just make a picture of it that I could frame or something. In her handwriting is all I was asking for. And I don't actually know how much gold it takes to do one of these. So it's 500 gold. I think it's
all right. Let me take a look at the scroll, and I'll let you know.
So like, if there's extra and you want to give it back, I'm not sorry. If you want to give it to Ember for like the party fund, that's fine too. I just didn't want, like, you're going to have to do labor. I didn't want you to have to spend money on it too. You know, that seemed rude, but.
No way. I appreciate it. This is wonderful. Thank you.
I don't know how he'll find the spell Honor's Dreamwalk. How they'll find the spell Honor's Dreamwalk. I'm sorry. So, if you would,
I'll have to. Well, we'll probably have to talk, and I'll have to remind myself like what it was that it did.
Basically, it allowed someone in in a dream, like Zarvolg in a dream would be able to put hunter's mark on someone, and then when he woke up, he would be able to follow them in real life.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Wherever they were in the world, but
right,
the wizard had to cast it on them, or something. Like you can look at it, but it's kind of cool, and it doesn't really do anything for a wizard necessarily, but it also wasn't doing anything for the party. Like this has been bothering Yvaine. This is like it's pretty, but she can't do anything with it. It seems
yeah,
it just seems
Okay.
like it's dishonoring the work. And when we were talking about, it seems a poor way to honor a mage, that the person, the tiefling who created this was her name was Anna, and she's a wizard in Western for the League of Miracles.
Wonderful. Well, I'd be happy to take a look at it and get it scribed right away. Honestly, I've been given a delightful amount of homework for this holiday. It's quite a nice treat.
Happy Baron's Eve, labor, and he's like, yes, exactly, more labor.
Yeah. Enjoy your 12 hours of bookwork. Glint looks excited though, and will gratefully accept this, and kind of like look over the scroll in the meantime, as some gifts are handed out.
Who now?
So then she goes to Finch. She goes, so on the same day that the Echo Stone was made, it was a lovely day, and you wanted to go fishing. You didn't have a fishing pole, and so you couldn't. And she hands you, and each of the rods has the most ridiculous bow on it. But she hands you a rod of angling.
Oh.
She gives you one, and she says, but one person fishing, I think, is work, yes? And hands you two.
Thank
So
you.
you always have fishing and a friend.
I appreciate this a lot. Thanks, Yvaine.
And so then she goes, making sure that I have not forgotten anyone. All right, yeah. So then she goes to Ember. So would you give the man who's got like incredible style and really everything, right? Like you were very hard to shop for, but I did a bit of research, and I feel like someone with your acumen could find this useful. And she hands you a small packet in paper with a bow on it, with a little note outside of it. And if you pick up the note and open it in exquisite penmanship, you see dust of deliciousness.
Wow. That's entirely thoughtful. Thank you so very much.
It was difficult finding something that I thought was right, but I just feel you're going to have enormous fun making that work.
I look forward to it.
And then she plops down next to Zara. All right.
Agreed.
So, your gift is spread out around Vasselheim. My dad's from here, actually. This is his hometown. He grew up in this district, actually. Crazy. But he has a scavenger hunt for us to do today. And the gift that I had planned for you, which is at Gilmore's, is going to become your birthday gift. She just smiles and grabs onto him and nuzzles him.
I do like a good hunt.
When he says hunt, she looks like her eyes get super, super excited. She giggles like mischievously.
Fantastic. Is that all of Yvaine's gifts?
She looks around, all right, nervously. Did I miss anyone? She looks at Finn. She's like, "You're getting a steak," and she looks at She looks at Happy and she smiles, and she picks up the most ridiculous, biggest, ooeyest, gooeyest cinnamon bun. Just like it's the perfect temperature. It's ooey gooey. And she's like, "Now listen now. You're going to have to let Ember prestidigitate you when you're done, all right? You cannot bring your sticky paws into bed. Right, so no, you can eat it all by yourself. But if you can wear it for the day. You can't bring it into bed."
One monstrous bite.
Yeah. Yeah, you put it down and Happy walks up to it and like we'll do like one of those. A little time, we'll like take the end of it and go.
Dennis?
And then sort of begin to like slurp it in a slow rotation like a spaghetti noodle. And it just begins to unravel before you all. This cinnamon roll that is just as big as Happy. Just
Yvaine looks at Nyx and says, "I understand that these are common creatures in the Feywild. Are they all like this? Do they all have an affinity for pastry? Can they all eat like that? Is he getting his proper nutrients? Because I sometimes worry that I'm not feeding him correctly."
I really think he's one of a kind, honestly.
and you would be right, Nyx. You certainly like Almirage are very common in the Feywild, and you would have seen them plenty of times. You've never seen one eat like this, and certainly not one be as animated as this one. This is a very unique. I mean, that's not true. There are plenty of Almirage who are fairly animated, but not to this extent, and don't eat quite as ungodly. Yeah,
Happy is one of a kind.
That's right.
I sort of figured he wasn't normal, but I didn't actually know. You don't know until you know, and so now I know. All right. And I'm done.
Yay.
Oh yeah. All right. Who's gonna follow that? Who's up
I
next?
can go.
All right.
So, as all that's happening, I think Finch would say, so I know Czar said that gift giving was not typically customary where he grew up. On the contrary, gift giving was incredibly common where I grew up. Honestly, much to many persons' detriment. I'm not sure how many of you have experiences with this, but at least where I come from or how I've been raised, sometimes people use gift giving as a way to make up for other areas that they are lacking in. So for each of you, I don't have anything to give right now, but when we return to Amon, what I want to give to each of you is my time. I think, especially over the past couple weeks, I feel like we've realized just how finite and precious time is. You only get a limited amount of it, and you don't ever know when it's going to run out. So while I don't have a lot of means and reach here in Amon, myself and my family have quite the reach when it comes to resources. So I want to sit down with each of you and dedicate a specific day where we can go out and do something that is of interest to you. I'll come up with some ideas and pitch it to your liking. But when we get back to Amon, that's what I would like to give each of you is my time.
It sounds wonderful.
That's very thoughtful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yvaine's like, obviously. Oh, no, not Zarvolg. Yvaine's obviously like.
Yes, your choice. Like I said, we'll figure out where is a suitable date for each of us. I think I have some ideas where I might take each of you, but I think it'll be fun.
If you have a moment to get in the arena.
Your wish is my command.
I want to watch. While he...
Sounds like fun.
Happy, having gluttonously just finished the cinnamon roll, turns around at you, covered, and like beats his paw on the table.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Little rabbit mitts out at you. Points at the empty plate where the cinnamon roll once was.
I just want to be clear. Are you saying that you want time with Finch, or do you want another pastry? I'm not sure which one you want.
Perhaps he wants Finch to take them to a bakery.
Yes. Happy's like,
yeah, Happy's eyes go like a sort of glimmer, like starry eye, and it's gonna like very happily like hop off the table onto Finch's lap and sit on Finch's lap, expectantly.
I mean, he's super sticky right now. You know those cinnamon rolls with the giant ones they make that is that's just fish eating.
He takes off the bib and it's just like a square block on his chest that just isn't covered in frosting.
You hear it like peel off the fur, like
starts like dabbing and like licking his paws, like doing this and kind of like licking it off and eating it. Oh, I missed some. Saving it for later.
Yeah.
And then Fen is licking him.
Yeah, Fen's just licking Happy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
His fur is like licked this like up.
Yeah, like fucking Disney style, just like lifted into the air a little bit.
I feel like whether or not Happy likes it, those two have started to play.
Uh-huh.
Oh, absolutely. Like, Happy often rides around on the back of Fen, I imagine.
Probably looking like a little general.
Yeah. Exactly.
You don't need like a trinket spin-off. Like we should do like a Happy one shot.
Oh.
Inside the mind of Happy, like Happy and Fen. Like
Happy and Fen and Philoctetes and Red.
Yeah. Familiars.
Oh my god.
Familiars one shot. That'd be incredible. All right. Who's up?
Nick has some presents.
All right. We love presents.
So this is my first time celebrating this lovely holiday. So I went out and got everybody a little bit of something. Ember, I found you these spices. I'm not sure what they are. The salesman was very nice. He said that a chef of your stature could get some good use out of them.
Oh, I look forward to experimenting and turning you all into my guinea pigs. Not actual turn you into guinea pigs, but
oh no, I'm here for it.
Gustatory guinea pigs.
Absolutely here for it. No, I volunteer as tribute. I do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hurt me, sir.
For Glint, I know you're missing your Skelly boys and friends. So I found you these bones that you could build a new one with.
Oh.
They're animal bones, but I figured maybe you could make something fun and possibly terrifying.
Oh, animal is my preferred material to work with. Actually, there's less moral quandaries. That's delightful. What kind of animal?
I did hope that the Fey elf pulled a full skeleton out of their back. That would have been great.
His name was Fred. It looks like a cow. I can't remember what it's called. Let's see. Let's see. I'll find it later. It's just a big animal, so it's lots of bones.
Sure. Well, I don't really have a bag to transport it in at any point, but
Oh no.
yeah, deliver it into my room at some point. Maybe I'll see what we can put together. If it's a cow or an ox, maybe it'll be a good beast of burden, or a new ride.
Glint pulling up in style.
The long horns, just handlebars. It's fine.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
You could fashion there's a fey creature called Bloody Bones.
Oh,
or the Rawhead. It's same.
interesting.
I think it's more of like a Tal'dorei creature, but I think you guys actually ended up saving a couple at one point. The Plains cow.
Oh yeah,
Basically, like
the if I were a buffalo cow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like a buffalo cow.
That's a whole skeleton.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Wait, why is there 366 bones? What the hell? Okay.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
A bonus.
A a mystery bone.
For Yvaine, I've got you some herbs. I know that you like to do things with herbs, and I thought you might like these, find them useful.
And she takes them. She goes, I have a potions book. I haven't even gotten into it yet, because I'm actually quite good with potions. Speaking of potions, I need everyone to go through their inventory and tell me how many potions they have. Healing potions, that is.
Oh, none.
Everyone should have 2 healing potions, and if you don't, while we're here, I'm going to brew them, all right? So, and if there are any potions that you would like to have, let me know. I'll get to brewing them while we're reasonably safe.
Interesting.
I'm actually quite good with herbology. Zarvolg's better at me than at collecting. He literally collects twice as fast as I do while he's moving. Like, twice as fast when I'm not moving. When he's moving, he collects twice. It's crazy. Yeah, but he collected all these herbs. So, like, everybody had 2 potions. But I think people have had potions since then, because that was forever ago. So, yeah, let's be up on that, because, things try to kill us sometimes, and it would be good to have potions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind scavenging around here if there's a need for it.
I think the last healing potion I've had was back in the Aboleth city.
No, but we don't need to do it now. I'm just saying, during, like, soonish.
I'll write a reminder so I don't forget again.
Yeah, just check your stores. Everyone should have 2. If you want 2 fancy ones, that's fine. I'll need a period of time to be brewing things. It doesn't smell nearly as bad as the things that we did with the carrion crawler guts. It's actually quite pleasant. It smells like tea brewing. Oh, it was awful. I never want to do that again.
Wait, does Fen have mine? Because I don't have any. And he looks accusingly at Fen.
Fen has 1. Yvaine put 1 of hers on him.
Okay, doesn't he have like a medicine bag now? You guys gave him
Yes, he does.
Yeah, you guys gave him a medic backpack. I forgot. Forgetting all the equipment that Fen has.
Little baby boy.
He's
the best boy.
Handsome little man.
Stop, baby.
Handsome big man. Big man. He weighs more than Yvaine. By not a small margin. Like, there was a point where she was like gonna get under him and like take him down under, like, down, and Ryan's like, no. Yeah, with you.
Is everybody's patting and loving on him? Zarvolg's like, stop it. Nope. Knock it off.
It's too late, father. I am soft.
I'm fluffy.
Ryan, are you good if I message you a question real quick? Because I had a crafting idea that popped in my head a while ago.
Yvaine looks right at Zarvolg and says, he has more kills than anyone else at this table. He has more kills than Finch. Nobody at this table gets to call him soft. Won't be doing it.
Zarvolg narrows his eyes at him and says, he's a kill stealer and a glory hound. He's a literal glory hound.
Hey, don't hate him because you ain't him.
For Finch, I got you this chain and it's got a pendant with Bahamut on it. I know you like him. Being his follower and all.
Thank you. I can always use more things with Bahamut's face on it.
No, it's actually really funny.
And they'll put it on.
Zarvolg, I got you a grappling hook. I couldn't think of more useful things. I thought you'd find good use for that.
I will absolutely find good use for that. As a matter of fact, when this is over, I've got a little story to tell you. We came in through a window one night. Yeah, he will love a grappling hook.
Yeah, we did.
And then last but not least, Beverly, you and I share a homeland and more. And so I got you a friendship bracelet.
Oh, you got me a friendship bracelet?
Yeah. So that wherever we are in the world, we can remember each other.
Thank you. Oh, Jill put it on, and you're like, oh man, that's so cool. And she just looks really, she's like glowing. She's like, man, I know I already gave you your gift, but I gotta make you one now.
And I think that's everybody. Yeah, everybody got something.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
I'll pick up the skeleton and back later.
Nice. Have we missed anybody? I think that might be the end of the story giving tale. But almost. You hear a little knock. The open pathway. And you're going to see dressed a little bit more casually, lots of light blues, you're going to see the Coinmistress of Tal'dorei standing in darkening your door. And she's going to say,
"Oh, we stand up."
What?
We stand up.
Oh, she goes, "Oh, please."
We sit down.
None of that. She goes, "I hope I'm not disturbing anything too private."
No, please sit.
Well, happy winter's Crest, everybody. I can't stay for long, but I thought I'd come and deliver some gifts. Well, a gift, technically. How is everybody? I heard that you were successful in delivering some kind of super evil crown.
We were.
We're doing much better without said super evil crown in our possession.
I'm so glad to hear that. She looks at you, Nix, who is new to the party. You're going to see this this beautiful half-elven woman, middle-aged, but there's no sign of it on her face. She has the grace of the elves about her. She has a couple of light blue feathers sort of like in her hair that come out behind her half-elven ear. Long, beautiful black hair. She's a little more casually dressed, warmly dressed, but still. Fine fur cloak. And like she's wearing pants. She's not wearing a dress. First time you've seen her in pants. And she's like dressed in like whites and like blues. And she has like this. Yeah, she'll have it. She has this like really incredible bow. It's the thing on her that really draws your eye, Nix, because it looks very fey. It is like it's almost like a spindly tree branch that has been like naturally formed into a bow of some kind. And it's gorgeous, and there's something about it that just sort of like tingles in your fey sense. And she looks at you with these like big blue eyes. And she will. I'll post her handout for you if you want to like get a good look at her. Repost it anyway.
Who doesn't want to get a good look at her?
Who doesn't want to get another good look at her?
Please, could we? Because I would love to look at her actually.
Facts.
Yeah.
Gosh, no. I'm not even going to be shy about it. She's beautiful.
So that is her handout.
Beautiful.
I don't think anybody's here. Okay, I will post the picture I have for her handout in the Facebook chat. Like I said, she's not as dressed up as she is in this picture, but ever as elegant. Oh, come on, Facebook work, damn you. No? Sorry, I'm having... There we go, there she is, look at her. Oh, so pretty, so pretty.
That's awesome.
Oh,
she's pretty awesome lady. Yeah, she's definitely got like a low V-cut situation going on. She's definitely, you can tell she's definitely a woman who like uses her feminine wiles to her advantage. And she'll look down at you and say, "Oh, you're new. Hello, darling. I am Vexalia, Coinmistress of the Tal'dorei Council."
And Nyx is just gonna look up with like big eyes at her, like just admiring her, and be like, "Hi."
Hi. May I? And she'll point to the open seat.
Oh, by all means.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sorry. I'll let you all get back to your celebrations promptly. I'm actually here doing a little gift giving of my own to some friends, or picking someone up. But in the meantime, you've all done so very well. I have no doubt that Tal'dorei is going to want to honor you more once hopefully you return and decide not to set up permanent residence here in Vasselheim. And as promised, we've picked out a number of places of real estate in Tal'dorei that could serve as your personal quarters. I just wanted to bring and present that to you, that you might feel free to, I'm happy to talk about it now or later, whatever you like, but we have a number of places with plenty of space for all of you, and a couple of streets that I think if you're wanting to invest a little extra money, you could do some expansions, create something in the city, maybe. But yes, just so you know that we have a couple of options available for personal bastion that we've been worked out for all of you. So, whenever you're ready, whether it's now or perhaps later when you return to Tal'dorei, we'll be happy to set that up. But the sooner the better, love, because darling, I like to say darling more, because it'll take us time to set up your personal facilities.
Absolutely.
Well, don't all thank me at once.
No, absolutely. Sorry, I was speaking.
Oh, that's silent. There's this whole wild magic silence thing. It's crazy.
Like literally everyone's silent.
It's very strange. It's very strange. Got a Laura looking into it. But yes, just wanted to let you know that we're happy and ready to set you up with something very special. And more than that, special facilities within. I know we talked about like a keep or a monastery, but we thought we'd do something a little bit more flexible where you guys could decide for yourselves what you'd like to put inside.
That'll be wonderful.
Well, whatever place that you want, it's at very least going to have rooms for everybody, and it will also have a number of specialized facilities. About 4 of them. Well, I'm happy to leave you a little list here of potential facilities that we'd be more than happy to install on your behalf into your place. And yes, you can let me know what you were interested in.
I thank you so very much. I'm beyond words.
Well, we are beyond words as well. You really went above and beyond. You were supposed to be on vacation, so we're a little cross at you for not having enough fun these days. So enjoy Vasselheim, if that's your preference. Do that at least. We're not actually cross, to be clear. We're not cross at you at all. We're very happy that you took it upon yourself to lock away a superior evil.
Coinmistress, may I walk you out?
Of course, of course. Well, have a happy winter's Crest, everybody. And is there ever a place in all of Exandria better to celebrate the day of the Raven Queen than in Vasselheim? So enjoy yourselves, and everybody have a happy winter's Crest. And she'll stand up and, yeah, allow you to walk around. Was that weird? I feel like I jumped in on something important. Was that bad timing?
No, we're just...
Perfect.
Oh no, this is how Yvaine Glint once they're like walked out.
Just inhabiting the moment. Yeah.
No, your timing was absolutely perfect. Actually, it's brilliant.
Okay.
Above the table, as they're walking, Yvaine's going to wait until she feels like there's no one around that could hear them. And she's going to lower her voice as they're walking.
Okay.
Gemon Tosh, we don't know what's become of him. But all of a sudden, all of the, not residuum, above the table, can't remember what it is. Azurite. All of the Azurite is gone, I hear.
Yes.
Got away.
Yes,
and the League of Miracles has the means of getting it all out very quickly. When the Kadergeist attacked us, she was riding an advanced Adranok. Only people from the League of Miracles have them. I'm not saying it connects them, but it's a connection that's worthy of consideration. I did not want to give this information broadly, Coinmistress.
I appreciate
was not never bringing it to you.
No, not at all, not at all. You will perhaps be pleased to know that we have been, despite the distance, we have been doing our best to try and track your progress in things. Some of this is new, but we have been in contact with the Dawn Marshals. We do have some of the story. Surprised that you know about the Azumite mines. We thought we had kept a really good cap on that. Apparently not. But then again, you are a reputed diviner, after all.
And she simply nods her head.
Thank you for... Roll a deception check.
I have not rolled my roll or wheel for the day.
Go ahead.
It's a 4. It's a 4.
All right.
Even. Okay. Which one of you is not gonna fuck me? Which one of you feels good today? You know what? We're actually gonna roll Yvaine's dice. What do you think, girl? That's not bad. That's a 16. I'm gonna roll the cosmic omen on top of it anyway. 16 plus a 6.
Total?
16 plus 6, guys. Is that 22?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Give me a moment. We're gonna see how. Well, I'm gonna see who wins in this battle of wits.
I'm sure. I'm hoping for love. I'm hoping for respect.
What did you roll again?
I rolled a 22.
Okay. She says, well, thank you very much for letting me know. Yes, and you can be assured that we definitely have our eye on, well, we are launching a very thorough and quiet investigation into what the fuck happened there. So yes, be assured we're looking. And yes, if you happen to learn anything else through your crafts, I have no doubt the Tal'dorei Council will be happy to get to the bottom of whoever claimed this prize before we did.
As I find information, do you prefer that I bring it to you directly or just through channels?
I trust your discretion. Whatever you feel is best. I know that you're a very busy lady, and so are your friends. So, whichever you prefer. My door is always open.
Thank you.
Yes.
Happy Winter's Crest. And she'll leave her.
Happy Winter's Crest. And she'll take her leave. The Coinmistress will indeed have left a little bit of information to do with your potential future residence. And yeah, there's basically properties listed in every district of the city. There's also a little note that like if you still wanted to have something built outside the city walls, that you're more than welcome to. There is a list of specialized facilities, and they're willing to install 4 of them to your new place of residence. Your new place of residence is going to come with bedrooms for everybody, along with they're fairly small rooms, admittedly, but you can always pay to have things expanded and so on and so forth. So feel free to because we will just, as a side above the table, we will be using 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide Bastion rules, but they're covering the expenses for a bedroom for every party member, including Beverly, and they will also give you 2 additional common facilities of your choice, which could be, let me see. Where are they? It could be either a dining room or parlor or courtyard or kitchen or storage, and that is yet to be determined. So bedroom for everybody, 2 facilities of your choice, basic facilities. I'll post those in there again so that you guys can remember to pick 2. Pick 2 for free. You can always purchase additional facilities, of course. And then if anybody has any questions regarding the special facilities, feel free to ask, because you could very easily make like basic inquiries around the city, or maybe you might already know, your characters might already know what they do. And I'll be happy to help you out.
Okay. Sorry, I'm pulling up the Dungeon Master's Guide on my end. Actually skimming through the.
And if anybody wants to,
stuff.
pull up the Bastion stuff in the DMG, they can do that for themselves as well. Whenever you guys have time to get back to the Coinmistress, you can begin to facilitate where you want it built and what you want built in it. Well, not built. They're going to be properties already purchased or already built. They're just going to put stuff inside. Okay, cool. And yeah, the Coinmistress takes off. So, what is next for Aurora Concordant?
Whenever we're back in Iman, or for spending enough time here. I do have an idea for a gift for you all, but I might require some input regarding it.
What kind of input would you like?
Stylistic mostly. And Glint's going to reach where they have like their pack on the ground next to his chair and fish out some various scrolls and notebooks and kind of like pull out a paper where he has some sketches kind of laid out. I've been thinking of something of making a physical emblem using the symbology of the Aurora Concordant that you've given me. And I figured it might be nice as maybe an amulet or a badge or a brooch of some kind, depending on what your preferences are. I could even do a ring, but I've been trying to incorporate elements of past adventures, I suppose, into it. I have some scales from the Red Dragon that we slew. I have still those beads containing the waters from the Aberleth city that we fell. Unfortunately, as my bag was destroyed, I don't have many mementos from our time in the ice or the woods afterwards, but if anyone does have anything from there they'd like to work into it, I'd be happy to do what I can. I'd like to make one for each of us.
Oh, that's a
That's
lovely
lovely.
idea.
And depending on preferences, I could make the base framework for these out of steel, silver, or gold, and then set everything else into it. But what do you all think?
I think it sounds wonderful.
That's good.
It is amazing.
Do you have any preferences of material or anything you'd want me to add in, or any requests on what kind of jewelry you'd want?
If I could have and he kind of like opens up his shirt a little bit and he kind of points to like a spot between his chest and his shoulder. He says, like a piercing.
You could probably do that. It might be. How big of a piercing are we talking exactly?
Oh, I don't know. And he says, anything from this, which is maybe like an inch long, to like this, which is maybe like 5 inches long.
It's like a bar piercing, effectively, with the engraving on it.
Yeah, that's what he's indicating. Yeah, for sure.
Understood. And do you have a preference on metals? Anything you're allergic to, I suppose? Some people don't wear silver too well. Or copper, for that matter.
He just, at that, he just kind of scoffs and he's like, if I'm allergic, I'll wear it and take it.
Well, yes, but if you're allergic, I'm not going to make it.
He's used a different material, right? He hasn't actually made it yet.
Exactly. So I'm asking as a precursor, not as an after the fact.
Hey, he just kind of looks at Yvaine a little lost.
Can you make it out of silver? Can you make it? He's not a werewolf. Can you make it out of silver?
I'll make it out of silver.
Just make it out of silver. She looks at Zarvolg and hugs onto his arm.
Oh, wait.
You are a werewolf?
Not a werewolf. Iron.
Beverly's like, Nix, just for your knowledge, Nix, it's not something that you actually have like any mechanical detriment about, but they are very allergic to iron.
Oh, jeez.
So you personally, like, we'll make it more comical in your case because like I think there's larger problems when you're dealing with like an Arcfey, for example. Like they really don't like iron. But for you, we'll say that you get like a big allergic reaction whenever you touch like iron. It's not good.
Oh my god.
And that's for you and Beverly. So maybe Zarvolg's like iron, and you Nix, and you and Beverly looks across the table at you, Nix, with a look on her face.
It
You know
doesn't
what?
have to be
Mithril.
identical.
What about, because it's just a small bit, yeah? So what
Mhm.
about Mithril?
Sure. We'd have to get it first, but we could probably work with that.
Oh, they had it in Livengone, because in Livengone they traded with Flaghammer. Remember they said that? I was just going to have to go back.
What? I don't know. What if it was like a star thing? I mean, Aurora, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a rock that does like the Aurora colors?
Oh, there is.
There's a few. If you're looking for pearlescent, I mean, there are pearls and mother of pearl. There's also opals, which are opalescent, very similar.
From what I understand, remarkably expensive. But yes, we could continue.
It's fine.
Oh, yeah, right. She maybe looks like she like pointedly doesn't look at you, Finch, like, oops, I maybe just made things more expensive for you. Does preferably not satin.
But not iron for you. If you prefer a certain metal or a color of alloy, just let me know.
Oh, I'm allergic to iron, so that's all. Yeah.
No iron then.
Yeah, same.
At which point, it might occur to all of you how it's weird how the two Fae at the table are allergic to iron also. That's weird. That's new information that none of you know.
Oh, good. All right, no, Yvaine, noted.
So we still have unidentified gemstones, I think, just sitting in the party sack that I could go through and see what all might be useful. Because we have found those in our adventures.
Do you have the wherewithal to transform a material?
I do.
Perhaps the easiest thing to work with might be a toughened and transformed glass, something in done kind of like a stained glass piece, which is then hardened.
I was thinking something similar to stained glass. Glasswork, unfortunately, is not my forte, but
we happen to have a guy on staff who
I've heard
really not earned his keep,
and I'd be happy to collaborate. Otherwise, I was going to go for a multi stone fitting and actually polish them to kind of have a similar visual effect, simply in gemstone rather than glass. But glass would be cheaper for certain.
Well,
and I'm happy to work with that as well.
I don't know what I know that there are transmutation specialists who can toughen glass rather significantly. I just don't know what's involved into it.
Yeah, I'd have to ask. Honestly, maybe we should visit Craghammer at some point, both for Mithril and also because there's quite a few various artisans I could catch up with there. It's been some time, but dwarves do tend to have long memories.
We're gonna have to get Zarvolg another drink before we even contemplate that. Or maybe a lot of them.
There was this elf girl in Larangorn, and she showed me a couple of things, and I got really, really good at glass.
Oh, well, maybe you can work together on it.
Arts and crafts.
All Hammer would be pleased.
Friendship bracelets. Glass wine. Crest
This
is the friendship arc.
If I make the frames, you can make the glass and set it into the spaces, and I think we can.
And for Ryan's edification, I had the communication with Nyx in the background. I am attaching the Feywild shard to the tiara.
Oh, cool!
That I gave her.
Wow.
Very cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, I need more. I need less random.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
More stability in Ember's life.
Is this tiara? Is this something that this is something you're going to create, right?
No, the tiara was already created.
Okay.
It was 300 gold for it's the silver and amethyst with the central amethyst having a continual flame knocked up onto it.
Shit. This is a really fancy crown you got there.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, Bard, center of attention.
Fair enough.
There you go. And now we'll do extra random weird crap. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Nyx is walking out of the Christmas party with like all their new shit on, like great big like eagle goggles and a crown.
Like a little kid on Christmas.
Right. Big floppy shoes.
Nothing matches, and I'm wearing all of it.
That sounds like my daughter every single day. But like in the cutest way possible.
But I love that.
Yeah.
For Nyx and for your daughter, I love that.
Oh yeah. She's her own vibe.
She's her own vibe. That's the
That's
only
what
way
she went as for Halloween. She said it was her imaginary friend, but it was actually just vibes.
It was just vibes, yeah.
So cute.
Okay, I'll just post a picture in our Facebook chat so you can
see.
Oh, the special facilities are interesting.
They are, aren't they? Some pretty cool stuff.
Unlike basic facilities, they can't be bought. They gain them through level advancement. Okay.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
Right?
She's got like unicorn hair. That's so adorable.
Yeah, we got her this like fairy wig. And this was her today. So she runs on vibes.
Hey.
That's goals right there.
It's the only way to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then to confirm, Ryan, rather than everyone having a bastion, it is a singular bastion that everyone has to split. Is that correct?
This is a single bastion. I will say there is some very subtle subtle stuff put into the wording that's saying that, like, if you pick somewhere in the city itself, maybe you buy out your neighbors and get more bastion and just connect the buildings and make a bigger bastion. Because that is how the rules work. Is it's so silly too, because it's like you can combine bastions. It's like, yeah, but what if I buy a bastion in a different city? I can't combine the two bastions. So yeah, if you wanted to purchase a bastion in one of the districts of the city, there's a good chance that you're going to be put in a district or a neighborhood somewhere where maybe it's possible you can buy out your neighbors for the exorbitant amount of money that you guys have at your beck and call. And then, you guys, hey, maybe you'll all have your separate houses on the street. Combine them all. Live the dream. That's what every friend group has ever wanted to do. It's just buy out a neighborhood.
Oh my god. Yes.
Is it a keep? Is it a monastery? Who knows? It's a clubhouse is what it is.
It's a clubhouse. It's a commune. Right?
Yeah.
It's
you guys have a street named after you.
As long as we're not going through breaking down our own doors like Vox Machina did.
Hey,
You're rich. You could take care
Thus
of it.
far, knock on wood, doors have not been too terribly difficult. And I say that because tomorrow we're going to come to a door that just beats the shit out of us.
Oh boy. Well, you guys, yeah. And I believe is that everything for you, Glint? I think that's all of your gifts given. Yep. I think that's the Aurora Concordant. So that's the gift giving of the morning, and now you guys can all have breakfast, like crazy orange juice pancakes breakfast. Whatever. Mimosas. Yeah, and Winter's Crest is as a reminder, you guys kind of started your day later in the day, so it's probably like early afternoon, very, very early afternoon, midday probably. And yeah, you got a city to hang out in. There's probably festivities going on. I'll also say you see them sort of like setting up for the night, and you're starting to get that like vibe of like they're not telling us to leave, but like also they're trying to set up for the events tonight. And they would never tell you have to leave because it's like, you know, you're paying a lot to be here. You could audit, but you could close the door, but like you're also like
you're a little in the way.
Maybe we should get out of the way. Yeah.
No. Let's speed up. Let's finish up. Let's GTFO. People have to work. Be respectful.
GTFO
service and all that.
Okay, you guys are gonna head out to the streets, see what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, pack up. You'll pick one outfit out of your many outfits that you have probably gathered by your thing. Beverly's got her friendship bracelet loud and proud on display. You guys enter out into the streets of Vasselheim, in which it's a different city out here than the one you were in yesterday. And you're also starting it off in none other than the Raven Queen's district. Let me get some stuff ready to go. I found out what never mind. Don't worry about that. Forgot to say anything. Okay, you step out into Vasselheim, folks. It is very interesting out here. It is a place of Gothic splendor. The streets of the district of the Dusk Meadow, the district of the Raven Queen, are strangely ablaze with ghostly lights. Magical lanterns glow in shades of blue and violet and silver, casting shimmering reflections on black banners embroidered with intricate patterns of raven feathers and skull motifs that decorate the side of the city streets. There is no shortage of music and marches, however. You might have stepped out to expect sort of like a somber thing, but it is very celebratory out here. Brass instruments echo through the district, weaving a mix of mournful dirge and celebratory melodies that seem to invite the spirit of dance. Drummers wearing painted skeletal masks keep time with a pulse, and everything feels very otherworldly. It's this strange like macabre high energy, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. You've never seen it before, but it's unique, and you don't think you'll ever see anything quite like this again. There are events that are to unfold later tonight, but for now, this is what you see. And as people are like playing in an organized fashion throughout the district, you see that there's no small shortage of festival stalls for like pastries and drinks and so on and so forth. There's plenty to explore. There's like cocktail stations and everything. Yeah. So what are we up to? What are we up to, guys?
I mean, are there apples?
Apples. What an interesting question.
Normal apples or candied apples, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll say yes, they do. The apples are in this like really like they are like caramel apples, but it's not caramel. It's some kind of like really like dark reddish colored caramel-esque in tone. It's some kind of something like that that's kind of tart and candied, but it is like a really like blackish warm color around the apple, and they're on sticks.
Fuck yeah, we'll take a dozen.
Shit, yeah, all right. And if you pay like, you want a dozen? Let's say silver for you, sir. Silver for you. A silver, and he's gonna hand over a big carton, like a big box full of them.
Happy and Fen get the first two.
Happy's like trying to fit his mouth around the entire apple in one shot, but can't open his jaw wide enough. He's just kind of poking his own face with the apple.
His own giant teeth get in the way.
You're gonna have to actually eat it. Do you want me to get it up for you?
It's like, I don't have anything around here to demonstrate. It's like, if it's like, he's like trying to get it, and it's too big.
She grabs the griffin's dagger and she's like, come here, I will cut it up for you. Like a little kid.
He like holds, it's like this big, holds it with like.
You can't even eat it right now. I just want to cut it up and get your mouth around it.
Looks like very like proud and is like puffs his chest out like, how dare you suggest such a thing?
Then fine.
He'll like hop after you with this big apple and in Jurassic World where like the T-Rex is trying to fit its mouth around the ball and can't quite do it. It's a very stubborn rabbit you have.
I don't even understand it.
I will say at a certain point you will see Happy does relent and starts taking bites out of it instead of trying to fit the whole thing in its mouth at once. Does start taking like nibbles and bites out of it and does take it down quick. But to tell you what these are, they are like it is. Sorry, I'm not very good at my candy words. Apparently, it's this caramel-like consistency, and it is this like sugary like blueberry raspberry dip that is like candied around the apple.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not going to admit that I like that, but I like that.
Yeah, Zarvolg, you're like looking around. You like just quickly pick up a second one. It's just
I wish it was just regular caramel. No.
What did 3 of the apples go already?
Yvaine has a passive perception of 23.
Quit blowing up my shit, man.
Yeah, you catch Zarvolg.
No, that's okay. I won't say anything to anyone. Not even him.
You catch Zarvolg enjoying himself.
I'll never tell anyone. I just
Yeah.
Can't have people thinking Zarvolg likes things.
I would have that.
In my passive perception of 11, they're just gone like a magic trick.
Yeah, you're like, where? Happy's like,
you apple thief.
like is like at first offended, and it's like we'll happily accept the blame for that. You guys walk by another stall in which you see shadow pastries. Ooh, that's what the stall's called. It's called shadow pastries. And you see this like Furbolg who's got like this like skeleton like face paint going, and he goes, yep, sweet pastries, raven-shaped pastries of all kind, blackberry with cream dip, right over here.
Oh, I would love to actually get a few of those.
Yeah.
Blackberry.
Yeah, I like one.
I have some, absolutely, just a copper each, yep.
I don't want to buy anything until I've heard all the choices, but I'm definitely getting something.
Do you have like a nice baker's variety box?
Oh, sure. We got the
yeah.
We have those you know those he was like, oh yeah, we've got the pumpkin, we got the skull shaped Reese's peanut butter cups, which are better than the regular shaped Reese's peanut butter
So much
cups.
better.
We also have those like sugar cookies that you only get on like Halloween and Christmas, and you bake them. We got those, except of course they're skulls. or actually little raven shapes.
Of
Yeah,
course,
let me just get you like a little variety pack here.
Yeah, tell you what. Give me a dozen of the cookies, the nice variety of the pastries, and anything else that if there's any like muffins or the baked goods, throw them on. And Glint's going to flip out his book and actually cast Tensor's floating disc and just conjure basically like an arcane lazy Susan to float up to the counter height.
He goes, oh yeah, let's fancy wizard. All right, let me just start stacking them up. And he will. He's gonna have like dark chocolate brownies shaped like ravens. He's got like exploding heart muffins. And he goes, don't worry, they're just cranberries. And he just like looks at you. But they're like they're like muffins that have like holes in the top, and there's like this cranberry drizzle coming out. And he puts them on, and there's like standard cookies with like a creamy dip. He goes, all right, well you have a happy Winter's Crest festival. Blessings of the Raven Queen upon you and all your ancestors.
Of course, you as well, sir.
And Zarvolg, in good spirits, will gather Yvaine and Nixon and be like, don't forget, Happy threw up at the carnival.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. But I didn't. She goes in and she gets a box of the same thing that Glint got, she got.
You see Happy like bounce up and like just managed to like grip the side of the Tensor's disc, and his like feet are dangling, and you see his like belly is like a little pot belly right now, so he's like a little too big to like pull himself up. And he kind of like
no. Listen, you puked. It was awful. You felt terrible. You had to pace yourself. Right? To enjoy yourself today. It's a marathon, sir, right? This is what you train for.
Sighs and resigns himself to pacing himself. Whatever that means. And we'll hop down the street, maybe not quite as high as usual, as he's already starting to stuff himself a little too much.
Eating him.
Happy then sort of like his little happy rabbit nose starts going and kind of looks and like hops on Fenn's back and kind of like points like a cavalry charge, and Fenn will sort of go like running down the street up to one of these stands, and he'll like sit in front of the stand. His tail will wag like crazy, and you'll see Happy like stand on his like face, and his feet are like pushing all against Happy's or Fenn's face, but Fenn doesn't care. And he's like trying to reach the top of his stall, and you see it says bone broth gumbo on top.
Yvaine looks at Zarvolg and says, control your child.
Right. And Zarvolg kind of
trying to like push Happy up onto it, like they're in on it together.
Zarvolg kind of lightly slaps Fenn on the rump, and he's like, you're an idiot.
Never mean to him. But does it smell really good? We should get some.
Yeah, you go up there, and yeah, it's this guy. He's like, oh yeah, bone broth, my famous bone broth gumbo every year, man. And you can purchase it for like a silver for, or not even a silver, I'll say like 5 copper for like a bowl. And it is good. It's got this like, it's bone broth, but like you can really taste like it's very well seasoned, but you can also very much taste that like melted marrow taste in it, which is like really good. The guy over the stall is like, oh, and looking down at Fenn, who's like, and he's like, oh, does your I got plenty of bones. Does your dog want a bone? And Fenn's like, and like wagging his tail like crazy.
What would you say the bone content of your gumbo is?
Like as a percentile?
Yeah, like how much of the broth is just the bone broth and how much is other ingredients?
Well, we got to keep some things a secret, right?
Of course.
An eyeball floats to the surface.
Glint's just like wondering with the clinical horror if bone broth gumbo would qualify as a pile of bones.
You want to try? I'm gonna purchase his entire bowl and see if you can make something out of it.
He'll purchase a big bowl and see if he can make something out of it.
I'll tell you what, if you purchase all of the bone broth gumbo he has left for the day, you can. We'll call that like. This is like a big stock of it. We'll say like 5 gold, and he'll give you this like big keg-sized barrel of bone broth.
Yeah, I'm game for this. Yeah, let's do some crimes against God. Yeah.
Yeah, do you wanna animate an undead in the district of the Raven Queen on her holy day?
The Raven Queen.
Do it.
That's even messed up for me, man.
For you, you're a paladin.
Oh, was it rolling? No. Yes. No. Let me just roll a d20.
Yeah, what are you rolling?
That's an 11. Glint's gonna go down the road a little bit and then give a shot at giving it a go. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Nix is gonna creep along with him and watch.
Yeah. We're gonna find a sketchy alley after everyone has their respective thermos of gumbo filled up, and then
Yep. Blackish green energy swirls around you as you call forth the power of necromancy to animate the dead here. In the Raven Queen's district, you pull forth from it. You feel within it the bones, the calcium, and you cast Animate Dead.
Yeah, I do.
I want you to roll me. Oh, you know what this is? I think I'm gonna roll this behind the screen. Actually, I gotta roll something behind the screen. See how well this goes. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. The barrel, like all of the liquid begins to like animate and move upward and begin to solidify. And what forms isn't like a skeleton per se. It's like because it's like liquefied bone, it forms into something far more like sleek. Like this is like the Audiare of undead. There's no cracks or breaks in anything, and it is like a perfectly like sleek. There's no rib cage. It's like a full like actually like it's almost Slenderman-esque. This like long-limbed body, super like diabolically thin. It's not actually a skeleton. It's just like it is a super long-limbed, like thin, gaunt, mostly single bone, like entity. That sort of appears and like forms, and it's almost like hauntingly like elegant as it moves out of the thing, and you hear the like sort of calcium bone movement within like where the throat is. You hear it essentially say, "I am to serve, master."
Oh, you are my new child. I'm so proud of you.
Have you guys know do you guys ever see what's that thing? I can't remember. Love, Death, Robots.
Yeah.
You know Love, Death, Robot. You know the one where there's like the blue dude who was like a pool cleaner, and then he becomes this like super like carbon fiber like robot. That's what this guy. This is like the carbon fiber like weirdly attractive like bone messiah thing.
Glint's like just reaching a hand up to it, like Adam reaching up to God.
Yeah, and it like stands like on the edge of its toes, like on the lip of the barrel, like Jesus-esque before you.
Yeah. I need to name this one. Any suggestions, Nix?
Oh.
Wait, are all of us seeing this?
It sounds like it. I don't even know how to find art of this creature. I don't even know.
Are we all watching this happen?
Sure.
Good.
It's got to be something. It's got to be something big. It's going to be something. Just an epic name for this terrifying being.
My delightful little Gumbroni.
I can't even do the voice right now.
I feel like this is so much better than anything on my father's list. To be honest with you, but I'm going to try to make it worth your while. It'll be fine. That was magnificent. No, seriously though, it kind of is still a skeleton. Yeah, she's got her academic look on her face.
Good God, dwarf! You are a real muss upstairs, brother.
Look, I just missed my little crew, and I mean, this isn't made of people. This is as ethically sourced as it can get. It was slow cooked.
I'm gonna send you a picture of what this thing looks like. It's pretty much this, and it's terrible.
How could anything that came out of a slow cooker be evil?
Oh God!
Oh!
like it's literally like a person, and he's like sleek and like reflective, like polished bone. And he looks like something out of he looks like something out of like Da Vinci's whatever man, whatever it's called. He's just like, he looks like the original man. I am pure.
He's Dr. Manhattan, but made out of bone soup.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, no, call me Gumbo.
Right.
That's perfect.
It's getting more terrifying.
Yeah, Nick, exactly.
I love you, Clint. I love you so much. Oh my God.
I have outdone myself of great art.
Father, thank you.
Would you like something to wear? You're just sort of naked.
Oh, you're naked.
I am the liquefied amalgamation of 10 cows and 1 person.
He gets the zoomies and starts running around with his naked.
Little 16.
16? He goes, probably best.
All right, if anyone asks you your genasi.
Very well. Do you think I can grow hair at any point?
Maybe if we had another cow.
Oh, we got
those bones back at the inn.
Oh God.
Look, between this and the plains cow, I think we're gonna have a fun little. Thinking of trying to make the other one into a vehicle of some kind, including wheels. Could maybe ride it, use the horns as handlebars. I could call it a boner cycle.
I, for one, am so excited to see. I can't wait to watch you cook, Glint.
Also, we wish you a lovely day. Yvaine grabs Zarvolg and says, "Come on, kids," and walks off and assumes that Happy and Ben will follow.
Why can't I smell?
Don't worry about it. You do. Plenty.
You smell fantastic.
I smell
delicious even.
Yes, gumbo even. I admit there are small pieces of gumbo inside. Some of the soup got mixed in.
That's all right. It just means that there's still goodness in you.
I'm either going to turn out to be the prophet of the world or the ultimate serial killer. I don't have to decide what I'm going to become when I grow up.
It's really pushing Finch's limits.
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
That is true.
Right.
We'll raise you right, my child.
Oh,
that is true.
That's what we should call him, David Koresh.
Sure. Who is that?
Don't act like you don't know. Texas.
I must insist upon either Jesus or Silver Surfer or Gumbo.
I bet
Jesus, Gumbo it is.
Yeah, I'm all into gumbo, I think.
Yeah.
Or
Gumbo,
also that one
perhaps.
weird guy from the beginning of Prometheus.
That's Long John Silver.
I'm still into gumbo, yeah.
Yes.
No.
That's weird that the random name generator came up with Norin Rad. That's strange.
Right? Silver Surfer.
This is going to be an interesting character. Oh boy.
Is Beverly weirdly instantly in love with it?
Beverly is like weirdly turned on. This one, like in the background. She's just blushing like.
Everything goes like fuzzy in the background. She's like the anime hard eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beverly finally realizes adulthood. Oh.
Yes. Oh. That's what it's all about. This is the only thing I've seen in years that vaguely resembles a changeling.
God.
All of a sudden, everyone in TAC remembers how we feel about Beverly. And we see this guy.
She's gonna join his cult. I don't know what his cult is, but I'm signing up. All right. Why don't we see what happens?
It's not going to be good
You know
for the cult. I'm just saying.
Why don't we go to a break? I feel like it's a tad early, but I need a minute. I don't know what you guys said. I need a minute to come down from this.
Yeah, I need not to cry. I'll be right back.
Ryan's flipping through the DM book of how do we stop this?
Yeah, I was like, what have I done?
And thusly our big bad was born.
But it was so genius. It was so genius.
Even Vecna's like, oh shit. That was crazy.
This is our big bad.
Yeah. It's him. Forget everything to this point. The next 10 levels are about this guy.
We can bring him in.
I hope Glint misses reasserting control over him for 1 minute.
Right?
For 1 minute.
He's Bone Marrow Soup Ultron.
I have learned much from you, father. Raises an army of himself. Holy shit.
It's all this hysterical. This is one of the reasons I love Yes And, because that was genius. I wouldn't have tried to raise something from bone broth, but that was glorious. That was.
Oh, I rolled a dice. It was either going to be the Raven Queen was going to be like wicked pissed and something was going to happen to Glint, or this. And yeah.
Thank gods for this.
I think the Raven Queen was coming in like, how dare you? And then it was like, oh, what the fuck? It was like, I had to take a moment. I've never seen anything like this.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like strangely perfect. The party plus Gumbo and minus Yvaine and Zarvolg take to the streets. Why don't we see what Zarvolg and Yvaine go and get themselves into to start us off?
We're going to start off by going to the Abundant Terrace.
Ah, the Abundant Terrace. Okay, you take Zarvolg to the other side of the city, to where you guys see, indeed, the beautiful, beautiful district of Melora, the goddess of the wilderness sea. In the western part of the city, it is mostly woodland and farmland. And strangely warm and very mild, to the point where you find yourself loosening out of your hotter clothes to keep yourselves warm. And it's this beautiful year-round wild wilderness and harvest area. It's gorgeous.
So
Yeah.
you're from warmer places, right?
I am.
Yeah, so you probably don't love the cold weather, do you?
It is not my favorite, but
so I thought
it's part of the wilderness, right? Part of being a ranger, part of what separates us from everyone else.
right, but today's a holiday, so I thought we'd start out like this is a multi-day thing. It's going to take us a while. Like Dad gave us a big list, so the first thing is to pick a flower and to plant a flower, and I've got the planting a flower all done. Just have to find the right one to cultivate. I have something in mind, actually. I really have something in mind. But I thought we'd walk around here, and this could be what we do all day, just be here and be warm, and I'll get permission to get a spore printing. And she looks absolutely mischievous right now. Absolutely mischievous. And Brian send you a note.
And he will, just kind of enjoy the warmth and I'm assuming there's a sun, right? Enjoy the sun on his face and on his skin. Probably if there's abundant wildlife here, which hasn't been the case for a number of days on their journey, his kind of like a cat, like his eyes are darting around, like following just the movement, right? Almost involuntarily, that he can't even stop watching, like birds moving between trees, etc.
Very nice. Yep, there was certainly wildlife while you were out in the wilderness, but juxtaposed with very creepy spidery wilderness, and certainly a different type of animal. Here you would see more classical woodland creatures you wouldn't expect to find in such a freezing continent. Deer and doe and elk and such.
And he'd probably take big, like, deep breaths. I'm assuming it's sort of a little like earthy and mossy here, so probably something that he hasn't smelled in a few weeks, right? With the abundant plant growth and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yvaine takes her shoes off, puts her shoes in a bag.
You feel grass under your feet for the first time in quite a few weeks.
Which is very nice. So I will sort of look for a priest or a priestess or someone who can answer a question about where I might be able to plant something, where I might be able to plant it.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. Let's see. You see a priest in white and red long robes, bearing the symbol of not the Wild Mother, but it looks like a sun.
All right. Yeah. And she'll go and say, "Hello, happy Parents' Eve to you."
Happy Parents' Eve. May the Dawn Father bless your steps. How might I help you today?
Well, it's a special day, and my father sent me on a scavenger hunt. And one of the things I'm supposed to do is plant a flower on the abundant terrace. And I have something special, and I just wanted to get permission and maybe a direction. It would prefer not direct light if I'm allowed to come. It's like a ground covery sort of thing, little pink flowers. They're really quite lovely.
Oh, see, well, I can tell you have a respect for nature, and by all means, as long as, of course, Well, I think it's a grand gesture to take and give, by all means. Wherever you see fit for this plant that you're bringing us.
So she's going to look at Zarvolg and say, all right, we're looking for partial cover in some place where there's never really direct sunlight, but filtered sunlight. Find it. She just kind of looks at him.
And he will look, but in sort of a different way, right? Like not in such a harmonious way, but instead he'll be like, yeah. And as he finds like certain areas, he'll be like, no. And he'll point at a plant and he'll be like, that one's predatory. That'll choke it out. And try and find like a safe place for it, where it's going to be able to thrive and without kind of like trying to eke out a hostile competitive existence.
Okay. Why don't we keep it a little interesting and make me a nature check? Because this is like you say, it's about trying to distinguish like predatory plant life and a place with the right conditions in the soil and so on. This is less about tracking and more about knowing your nature.
All right, 18.
18, very nice. You, as you say, you like pick out plants that might be a little more predatory, pick out plants that might sort of like give it a little too much shade, and you find like a nice little place near a tree where there's no other potentially harmful other plants nearby. A place where you think it'll get the right amount of water and the right amount of sunlight, considering Yvaine's checklist for the plant.
She'd have a very Thomas Kincaid sort of vibe if you'd ever seen his paintings. So she'll take out these little seeds. She's actually got a pouch full of just these seeds. So I don't know if you remember, it was the same day that Happy made the Echo Stone and Finch wanted to go fishing. It was a particularly good day, but Happy started walking about, and in his wake he left these little pink flowers. And she'll spread the flower, she'll spread the like, not a handful of it, not like the whole packet, but just like a handful, and it goes down like glittery dust as it lays down kind of in this little place that he's picked for it. And she's just kind of like look at it a little bit and give it like a little curious gesture. And this carpet of little pink flowers, it's a ground cover, goes all up through there. And these are the flowers that you said were native to the Feywild.
Oh, okay, very cool. Where did you grab these, out of curiosity?
Okay, so on that...
I was just going to say, I remember it too. We were on our way back from the Griffin thing. And we were traveling through the mountains outside of Zephyra, and there were a number of things that happened. Happy created a sounding stone, like in the water or whatever, and I don't remember why, but for some reason, Happy had bound through and left these little seedlings behind, and Yvaine picked them up.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Yeah, cool. Just curious. Yeah, very nice. And so you sort of spark forth the first blossomings of life into the plant, and it sort of comes to life. A little memory returns to you both. Lovely.
And now I need to find a piece of mistletoe. And she looks at Zarvolg.
Oh, and he like doesn't. He hears nothing but a command to find mistletoe, and begins immediately searching for mistletoe.
So okay.
Right.
Go ahead and make me. I think this one could be nature or survival, as you're kind of tracking it down.
23.
Yeah. You're like, I already got one. I was like,
Right.
no, you
Yeah,
guys.
he's like, you mean like this? Snip.
Like, here it is. It's right there.
The piece that he takes,
Yeah.
but then she takes the Moonweaver's sickle, and she's going to say a silent prayer. You know what? Fuck it. No, it's not going to be silent. It's going to be in Elvish, which means Zarvolg will understand it. And she said, "To trickery and love." And she takes her piece. There's a plan. I'll tell you later.
Cool.
Mr. GM. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Sure thing.
All right. Other than wanting to find a priest of Melora, we could do that quickly and be about to the next thing.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this is nice. It's amazing how they can do this here.
This is the Wild Mother's Grace. I'm quite fond of Melora, actually.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
All right, so you remember when we were in Westron and then you went and you saw the sexy tiefling and she told you to find a high priestess, and then you told me the next morning, it was the same time you told me about the dwarf and everything. We talked about how your childhood wasn't normal, but that was okay because I loved you anyway. And oh god, what was I talking about? Yeah, no, so but then we went to the priestess, right? And so that, yeah, that was Melora, Wild Mother. You were probably needing something a little grittier, obviously, you know, chosen of chord.
I mean, I remember the tiefling.
All right, well, yeah, we're going to find a priest of Melora. That's where you've had the name before.
Oh, all right. Yeah, okay. All right. And I think that's it. I think they're ready to enjoy their day, probably.
Yeah.
Relatively relaxingly.
Nice.
And all
Fantastic.
she's going to do with the priest of Melora is, back in Westron, she had a collar of sanctuary made for Happy, and he has done nothing but complain about it since the moment she suggested he wear it. So she wanted to gift it to one of the servants of the Wild Mother and just say if anyone can use this. And it's like a collar, which might on a human be like a little bracelet, you know. But so it was just a gift. It's a day of gift giving, and my very headstrong bunny is not going to use it, so maybe someone here could.
Oh, it's a very remarkable gift. Well, I can tell you for certain that the Dawn Father appreciates the protection of such a thing, and thank you. It is a fine tribute, and I will be sure to bring it to the birth heart myself.
What?
Oh, the Temple of Melora here in the abandoned terrace to the north of the district.
This isn't it? There's more?
Well, you're just standing in the district. This is the district. This is the abandoned terrace. Yes, it's a whole district.
Oh, all right.
Yes. Oh no. Yeah. No, both.
Now they're off exploring.
Oh, okay. He gives you an apologetic look, Zarvolg. Yvaine goes skipping off.
Right.
And yeah, he'll kind of make himself scarce. This is just the district. What do you mean? Okay. We'll catch up with you guys later as Zarvolg, you're brought to the birth heart. And you guys will go take a look at that in a little bit. What is Ember, Glint, Nix, Finch, Beverly, and Gumbo up to? What do you get Gumbo dressed in, by the way? In this sleek new form.
I think at least like a coat because it's quite cold.
I feel no temperature. Why must I wear something so heavy?
Well, I'm not sure.
I have no nerve endings.
That's true. I mean, it's still going to be good for you to bundle up, though. You wouldn't want to
keep
catch
the
a
soup
chill. Exactly.
It'll keep the soup inside very warm.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that, but sure. And he'll put the coat on. His his head still poking out. His solid, polished bone head.
God. Do you want the
little as he moves? I imagine it's almost have you seen those new wild sci-fi supercars where the wheels turn and you see it's almost like triangles and it's almost like fractals that keep it moving. It's just fractals kind of bending and indenting to move almost like a million joints. That's how his lips move. As he moves, it's almost like triangular, very very small triangular fractals that allow him to give the element of natural movement, almost like skin, but it's not, it's bone.
Welcome to the Uncanny Valley.
Is that what this place is called? Most odd.
Maybe. Well, gang, where are we off to next? Us and our boy.
I'm not sure now. I'm honestly. I think this is it feels like it's hard to top this after.
Well,
is it customary to stare so intensely?
Well, you're very unique. Can you taste anything? Do you have a mouth in there?
I do not possess a tongue, no.
Oh. I'll have to keep that in mind for the next time I try things.
Would you give me a tongue fuck?
No, I'm certainly... I can certainly try.
Will you make me more complete?
You just broke Cassie. Cassie's out. She's like, I'm done. That's it.
Sorry, was that a weird ask? Because everyone's playing her.
No, not really.
On this, it feels very fair, honestly. I wonder if we could find can we put one in there.
It's just,
how does that
my
work?
Mouth feels so empty. There's nothing inside of it.
I think if we maybe visit a butcher shop, we could get some nice ox tongue and see if we could graft it in.
Oh.
Cool.
Let's do it.
What is this adventure? When you remember being in the remnants and this is kind of what it was like, I was like, yeah, let's go get some fucking ox in you and make tongues. The wild night. All right, you guys step out into the this is so fucked. Okay. You guys step out and you're gonna see something entirely unrelated. You're going to see a couple of things. As you make your way down the street, you're going to see a couple of little events and traditions happening down down through the district. The first thing you see is as you step out, you see that there's a bit of a not a procession, more like a it's almost like a parade where you see these dancers dressed in as spectral figures, dressed like ghosts almost. and they perform intricate routines that are very interpretive and show a lot of like sort of very mournful. There's still like high energy dances, very very exciting, but there's still like a mournfulness to them in the interpretation of it. Their movements emulate the fleeting nature of life as they scatter ash-dried petals into the air. That's like kind of the thing you see. You catch the tail end as you continue. You might see a couple. Oh, go ahead, please.
You see, Gumbo, you've been brought in on a very special day. Today is Winter's Crest, and the meaning of Winter's Crest is mulling on the fleetingness of life and enjoying it with those you care for.
I was going to say I've never seen such strange and beautiful movements in all my life.
Well, you have only been alive for 15 minutes, but it is still quite something.
It is still very. Is this common? Is this a common thing? Is this something I will see much of in my new unlife?
Well, this is mostly a holiday, so it's once a year, which is not all that often, but dancing's quite frequent. You can find dancing all over.
See. You'll continue down the street. Again, moving like long, elegant strides, hauntingly elegant. You'll make your way, and you'll see a couple of things. You see that on the side of the street, there are a number of, they've accentuated the number of altars that you might find dedicated to the Raven Queen. And you see that a lot of people leave, actually, hang on. I'm in the wrong place. No, I'm not. I'm in the right place, I swear. Oh, no, I am in the wrong place. My apologies. Yeah, we get to that. No, you're not here. Get out of here. You see, various shrines throughout the district, small shrines built from dark stone that are adorned with offerings of flowers and candles, a couple of hand-painted skulls, painted to be extensively white, almost porcelain-looking. You see families gathering to leave notes, food offerings, trinkets, clearly dedicated to loved ones. You see that there are various clerics of the Raven Queen meandering about, these sort of solemn women who are reciting a rhythmic and melodic chant that people sort of listen to with interest. And you already saw the masquerade. So that's kind of what you see. You see these little offering shrines throughout the district, these clerics who sort of move through. Clerics sort of talk to various individuals. That's kind of the vibe. And the day begins to grow later, and you hear whisperings here and there, or you might see listed on things that have just been put up on billboards that at a certain point there's going to be the midnight revelry will be occurring this evening, and it seems to be some kind of final ritual ceremony.
Until tomorrow, but tonight's rather open on the schedule beyond catching up with, I believe, Roderick back at the cabaret. But did you have any hopes of what you want to tackle for the Winter's Crest? It's the first time I've been back in Vasselheim for a while, but is there anything you lot would like to see?
Beverly's I think this is wonderful. I'm excited to just see the. I definitely want to see the midnight revelry. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Of course, yeah, we can stay out for it. No harm in that. Nix, have you been to Vasselheim before? I know you've been all over with the carnival.
No. This is my first time, especially on such a holiday. So this is all very new to me.
Fascinating.
What about you, Ember? Have you ever been here before?
No. This is officially the furthest I've been away from Amon. Yeah, pretty much ever.
Finch?
No, never. I've heard stories, and it was a place that I had always hoped to get to, so can't say I have.
Ooh. Is there anything on your agenda then that you'd like to see?
Oof. I've already been to the one place that I wanted to go. That was very fulfilling. Fulfilling, words are hard. No, I'm up for an adventure.
Out of character, because now most of the celebration is going to be in the Raven Queen's quarter. Are there other celebrations happening outside of it?
Possibly in the other districts. You imagine that this is like the height of the excitements. Oh, you're laughing at the what I have picked for Gumbo.
It's being followed by Jack Skellington through Christmas.
He was born on Christmas Day. But no, you expect that this is probably the height of celebration. Like everyone's going to be celebrating in their own ways, but this is the height of celebration. I want you to roll for me tonight. I want you to roll me a little Arcana check to do with something that you might exclusively know about Winter's Crest, given your background.
25.
25. Perhaps explaining the arrival, the most strange arrival of Gumbo's new form, in part. You know that Winter's Crest is also considered like sort of the winter solstice, where the veil between the planes is at its thinnest, where they say spirits slip into this land easier still, and many diabolical cults try and utilize this day to make their darker rituals easier to pass forth. So it is on this day where you expect that somewhere in Amon, or sorry, not Amon, somewhere in Alexandria, there's probably multiple wizards, sorcerers of good or bad nature that are attempting to use the day to perform something more extravagant, for good or ill.
You know, you might find this interesting, Nick, since you're something of a planar immigrant, by my understanding. But this is actually when the veil between planes is at its thinnest, for spirits and fae and other things as well. I imagine if I did this in summer, dear Gumbo here might never have been brought into existence. There's probably other
Which we could all agree would be a tragedy.
It would be. You're such a welcome addition to the family.
Well, then I'm glad we did it today and not in the summer.
But if there's any planes you might want to try and call in on, anyone you might want to try and reach out to, this is the day. I mean, there's probably rituals happening all across the continent at this point regarding it.
Well, I don't think I don't think I need to talk to anybody on the other side or in the other dimension. Not playing yet, not right now anyway. But I would like to see what's going on.
Absolutely.
You've been here before. Do you know any good places we should check out? I know it was a long time ago.
Skims back through his man flashbacks of Vasselheim.
You have a flashback of like disintegrating some like holy warrior.
There was a bakery.
You remember probably like doing something awful to the baker.
I think it might be closed though.
Yeah, anything you remember, there's not a good memory attached to it.
As Glint tries to pull a 1,000-yard stare back across the pier now and down the street.
Let's try to find some good new things to make new memories with here. Yeah?
That works. I was also considering maybe heading up to the top of the Titan, maybe. There's still some structures up there, and it would be a good view. I don't know if there's stairs all the way up, but I could fly us up, and you have your instruments, so it shouldn't be too difficult.
I think that would work. What do you think, Ember and Finch?
I'm happy to accompany. I really don't know that much about the city, nor a lot of the associated services and that sort of stuff. So,
if you'd want to get a good look at it, I think that might be the best place to do so. And maybe if we see any interesting lights or fun ceremonies happening from up high, we can go visit.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Yeah. Glint will start hiking along towards where the Titan is over the wall.
All right, you guys will start making your way over there. Yeah. I'll say as you guys are heading over there, easily enough, you're going to see perhaps a happy say. You see with a what was it? Which one was it? It was the absinthe one. No. We're not drinking that right now. Some kind of like dark, but like in like a highball glass kind of thing on the side of the street. You hear like some cackling and laughter, and you look over and you see not in the Dawn Martyr plate in any way, shape, or form. You see a slightly drunk Pike, sort of like talking to some people with like a drink in her hand, and you see the Coinmistress as well is sort of with them, and they're like a little sauced together, and they're just kind of like laughing together and talking with some other people who are around. They got like a little, like nothing. There's no crowd, but it's like a couple like 3 or 4 people, and then the person who's running the stall, and they're just kind of like they're all flush in the cheek and kind of like laughing, drinking about something.
Yeah.
Would you care to approach, or do you just kind of walk on by?
Yeah, okay. Little approach, yeah.
All right, you guys are going to approach. Let me see if my Pike mini is ready, because I made all of Vox Mach. There she is.
Oh, heck yeah.
There she is. There she is. Look at her. It's Pike. It's me, Pike. You guys see the small gnomish form of Old Lady Pike. And of course the wonderful Coinmistress Vexalia. And they're just kind of drinking, and Pike will be like, "Oh, hey everybody, how are you all doing? It's good to see you all again."
Hello again. Happy Winter's Crest.
Hi, happy Winter's Crest. Man, it's so good to see you guys. Oh, Vex, I got it. She goes, "Oh, no, I know them, darling. That's okay." He goes, "Oh, right, yeah, the Tal'dorei Council. Well, how are you guys doing?"
"Oh, we're doing well. We're heading up towards the Titan. We were going to maybe fly up to the top and take a look at the city, and you're welcome to come if you'd like, unless I'm sure you have parties all over town to go to, though."
"Oh, that sounds like so much fun." Vex goes, "Darling, we need to be getting to dinner with Percy." He goes, "Oh, right, I forgot. It's okay, I've been there before."
I'm sure.
Yeah, we did some stuff up there. Yeah, up on the, yeah. Oh, did you know that Vax got punched by it when the fight.
Oh.
It was crazy. He was flying in. Oh, he was getting killed, and then bam, right in the sky. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were dead for sure, but no, they're okay.
Heavens, what an impact to survive.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, no, you guys have a great time. Oh, yeah, look for this, there's this one crater. It's to the right. That's where I almost died on one part. So if you want to, that's a cool little feature just for you.
Oh, well, we'll be sure to pay it a visit and pour one out. Do enjoy your dinner and your evening. We'll be enjoying our own as well. Do you have any other places to recommend that we visit? I'm sure you spend quite a bit more time here than I, and if there's any good spots you recommend.
I actually don't spend too much time here. I mean, they call me. I do business stuff sometimes. But yeah, no, there's some cool places. Let me think. Where's really cool? You're already going. Oh, because have you ever been in the Titan's butt?
I have.
Yeah, there's they have a whole bar there. That's crazy.
I heard something of a hole in the wall establishment.
That's really funny. Well, I mean, it's kind of a fun day. People don't always want to go to the temples on fun days, but the Temple of the Dawnfather is pretty cool. It's 3-storied. I wish my temple was 3 stories, but it's not. That's okay. It's still a beautiful temple.
Maybe we can go pay a visit then after we do our sightseeing. I'm sure it'll be hard to miss.
Yeah. But no, this is where everything's happening. The Velvet Cabaret. Oh, there's so many really pretty ladies there. Yeah.
I'm staying there.
Oh, well, you don't need my help. It sounds like you guys got it all figured out.
Oh, I mean, honestly, the recommendation of the Dawnfather Temple was delightful.
Well, there's a lot of temples in Vasselheim that you can check out. A lot of them. Vax goes, Pike. He goes, yeah. We've got to go, darling. He goes, where are we going? He goes, we got to go to Whitestone, darling. He goes, right. Okay, we gotta get going. Sorry, guys, we gotta go.
Oh, is someone teleporting you, or?
Looks at Vex, goes, yes, darling. There's a teleportation circle, it's this thing. He goes, right. Okay, well, maybe I'll be back. Maybe I will. But it was lovely seeing you guys. Don't worry, Dawn. I'm sure they've got something cooking up real tasty for you.
Just like gumbo, yes. We'll look forward to it.
All right. Well, goodbye, everybody. It was nice seeing you all again. Oh, and she'll look past and see the cloaked gumbo and goes, "Wow, Zarvolg grew up so big." Okay.
You really once he shaves, it's just all smooth. It's fascinating.
And he goes, "My name is Gumbo." He goes, "Oh, the gumbo is so good here. Yeah, you gotta try it. Don't forget, you gotta try the gumbo. It's here once a year." Vax is like, Hike. He goes, "What? I was like, "We got to go, darling." And he goes, "Oh, right. Okay, we're going. We're going for sure this time. Okay, bye, everybody. I love you." And chill, and the two of them kind of, and Vex will be like, "Goodbye, everyone. And definitely return to Ramon. We miss you because you're so talented and such. Well, I love interior decorating. I look forward to it. Okay, goodbye." And then the two of them will kind of zigzag down the street.
Nix Andergard, is this your first winter's crest without your family?
It is, yes.
How are you enjoying the differences so far?
It's been nice, honestly. I feel like when my family celebrated Winter's Crest, it was always a lot of, as is with everything else with them, quite a bit of pageantry. And that is to be expected, I suppose, with the status that we held within the city. We have to keep up appearances, and there's a certain level of entertainment that's expected, show to be had. So this has been different. Not necessarily in a bad way, but I think with everything that we've been through over the past couple weeks, honestly, the past couple months, I've come to appreciate some things that can't be given and exchanged, like I kind of said earlier. It's nice not to have just gift giving and things be the center focus.
It's a good way of looking at it, I think. Do you miss them much at all?
No.
That sort of gathering, I take it. I know those.
I do. First, I mean, my family and I are incredibly close. When we were getting ready to go out on our adventure from Amman, I know that there was some talk of my father putting himself out there again to date. I can't say that I haven't been thinking about that. I certainly welcome him to do that. Not something that I'd be opposed to, but I worry in his older age.
With Ember's mother.
That's right. Yes. So I think about that.
You're practically in-laws.
Mm-hmm. That would be nice. No, my father deserves that, and so I've thought about him quite a bit. And then my brothers, for as lovely as they are, I've worried about all of them, but specifically Xander and where he's off to, what he's doing. So we were always very close. So yeah, it's been different, but I'm enjoying what we have here.
That's good. This is certainly the most company I've had for Winter's Crest in some decades at least. So it is nice for certain.
See, I feel like I've been surrounded by company my entire life, and this is the first time that I feel like it actually means something more than just bodies filling a space.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. You can be present and not be present, so.
That's true. I mean, the last big gathering I had this time of year was a group ritual, and that's not exactly a social outing. It's just simply you're all there for a singular purpose, and it's not really each other. It's
can't relate, but
I'm sure you can. Magic and religion are very similar. It's all about chanting words and believing things will happen. So,
I suppose that's accurate.
How does Glint feel with everybody really taking your association with Vecna in stride?
Glint is not sure if he's awake or dreaming still about it, because it's very surreal to have everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's fine."
Yeah.
It's only been trying to hide it for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years.
Like, oh yeah, no problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fair. Meanwhile, sort of off to the side, Ember, you would be, I dare say, accosted by Gumbo, who looks down at you from his tall, slender form and says, "What is this thing on your face? On your lip?"
Oh, it's a mustache. It's hair, like on your head if you were to have some, but you don't.
I want it.
Well, you can't have mine.
I see. I wish for hair. you think this is possible?
Sure. We can get you a wig. I can even get you a mustache, I'm sure.
I think it's possible.
Oh, absolutely.
I do like this winter's crest. Thank you for your counsel. What is your name?
Ember. Ember Van Zyl.
You take his clammy, bony hand, and he shakes yours and goes, I will not forget your name, Ember Van Zyl, and what you've done for me here.
Anytime that I can be of help, you just let me know.
I will. I will.
We should get Gumbo a disguise kit.
I was gonna say, could Nyx hear what was going on?
Yeah,
like,
I'll say
you're
a little. Yeah, you were. I imagine you and Beverly just kind of like leaning out, like Scooby-Doo style, around the stature of Finch, like watching that interaction. Like, what the hell?
So Nyx actually has a disguise kit. Can they like whip out a mustache from it for Gumbo?
Out of character, I do feel like you would really love a disguise kit.
Tell you. Tell you what. Why don't you make a little check for me next to see if you can like quickly construct a little mustache. Make me a let's call it like a performance, because this is kind of like makeup, and makeup is like a performance. So maybe a performance check at advantage because you're proficient with the kit, presumably. Performance at advantage. I'm sure it'll be very hard for the bard.
Thank God I had advantage. 24.
24. You like, we'll say maybe in Nyx's private time, thought Ember's mustache was magnificent, and had like made one, like a little fake one, just for fun. And just in this moment, just suddenly has a spare Ember mustache on the go. And you just like, whoop, like pull it out of your little disguise kit bag. And Beverly's like, where'd you get that?
I have my ways. Gumbo, I overheard you talking to Ember, and I have something for you. And they hold it out like excitedly.
He takes it in disbelief and says, what are you? Who are you?
Just a friendly neighborhood fae, that's all.
I will not forget you, the Giving Fairy. He will like affix it to his lip, and the adhesive will like immediately, because it's solid, it's not like oily skin. It immediately just, and it is like bone, near expressionless, like super gaunt, like bone shiny face just bears a ginger mustache with curled handlebars on the side.
It looks good on you.
This is the best day of my life.
Isn't it the first day of your life?
Yes.
Yes, it is the best.
He's starting off on the right foot.
If tomorrow were any better, I don't know if I could handle it.
Well, you'll have a lot of good days and probably some bad ones, but hopefully mostly good.
I expect no day will be as good as this one. If I had the ability to cry, I would. Thank you, the Giving Fairy.
Does he not even have eyes? Is it just like
his eyes are just like bone, like they're like bone circles in sockets. He blinks, but again, it's that like. Yeah, a little bit of like it's just like, it's like if you're like rubbing your nails together. It's just like,
and
he blinks very irregularly.
I think you're maybe the most cerebral undead I've given form to. I'd feel strange if I gave you a knife and told you to stab things. Would you like to be something of an apprentice, or maybe learn
You would
magic?
teach me your unlife-giving ways?
I would teach you at least some aspects of spellcraft. Maybe
Oh,
not the
Jesus.
raising the undead part just yet, before I know you a little better. But I do believe there's an ethical framework with which one can create undead, such as yourself, and apply them in a means helpful to society. So I'd be happy to go over that with you.
Happy Winter's Crest, everybody. I will gladly accept the gift of arcane lore from you, Father.
Attaboy. I can't wait to introduce you to your grandfather someday.
I need a large stick to begin, yes?
It helps. Sometimes a little one works just fine, or a nice arcane orb.
Oh, an orb, you say?
Yes.
That tickles me, I don't know why.
Yeah, it works to ponder upon it and extract magics from its depths.
I shall ponder the orb, or perhaps a large stick, as my implement of craft.
Of course, I'll have a few beginners sort of foci made up, and you can go over them and see which one you might prefer.
What a fancy word, foci. I look forward to learning more fancy words.
Well, I look forward to teaching.
Oh. Everybody's like, so, do we want to, get grape juice or something more innocent?
I think I need a drink. Like the one from the Titan.
Yeah, me too. Let's go. He's like, goodbye, the giving fairy.
See you later.
He's in this ginger mustache. This is the greatest. This is our greatest creation, Glint. This is the greatest thing we've ever done together. I'd shake your hand if you were in person. Okay, let's peel away from this as you guys begin to make your way rather hurriedly towards the Titan. And your long, languid, skeletal figure follows after you and looks at the sights and blinks very irregularly. Okay. Zarvolg and Yvaine, you guys make your way to, whatchamacallit? The Birth Heart, there it is. Okay, you guys travel through the district, and indeed, the nice holy man was not lying. This beautiful, trees and farmland and all these things. Indeed, it spans the entire district. This is a tract of land that is all been made to be like this. It is, as you are quickly learning, not only dedicated to the Wild Mother, but to the Dawn Father as well, the god of agriculture, and the sun. And so the warmth of the Dawn Father lies upon this part of the city. Cool. So you make your way to, come on, Birthheart. The Birthheart. Oh, nope, you're not going to give me that. Okay. The Birthheart. Look. Let's see. Okay, you guys come to, you're walking through, and as you come to this place, which could only be the Birthheart, Nyx is a bard. I imagine Nyx, I'll ask you, Nyx, do you think around the campfire maybe you've told a tale or two of what your homeland looks like, of what the Feywild might be like to see?
Yeah, I would think so. They've been traveling together long enough. Okay.
In the beautiful songs of Nyx, she has described an abundant wildlife of mystic and magic, of fairy lights and spanning tall trees and such. And as you come through the way, you are going to see a magnificent sight. And I will actually post a picture in the Facebook chat of this place. But first, I'm going to do my best to describe it, and then you can decide if I'm good at doing that or not. You see this gargantuan tree, massive in size, tower over perhaps any other man-made building in the city. It is huge, and more so, the canopy created by the top of the tree spans widely, nearly a radius the same length of the trunk itself. And from that canopy of the tree are hung long lines just filled with glowing lanterns all across the bottom of the canopy of this great and ancient tree. The tree itself has wound around it a beautiful gold walkway, or it appears to be gold or some other sort of metal. And the tree is clearly hollowed out. You can see lights coming in from coming out from the various windows here and there, and tall, beautiful windows and doors that lead into the interior of the tree that you might see what lies within. Around it are a number of similarly sort of golden white marbled beautiful pavilions holding statues and altars within. There is a long river that more like a stream that flows down along the side of this tree, and a gorgeous bridge that crosses along it. It gives Dawnfather as streaks of light come in from the sky. It gives Wildmother from obviously the big beautiful tree, and even maybe a little bit of Coralon as nature and magic and all of these things come together in a beautiful harmony as you stand in front of the birth hut. I will post a picture of this wonderful town in the Facebook chat. There it is. We're muted, Yvaine.
No, she's just speechless. You know, in animes, we hear the wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening right now. Like with the hearts, with the eyes, and
Absolutely.
you know, her shoes are off, so that her toes are probably like, not even with her thinking, they're probably digging into the floor. I wouldn't be surprised if like flowers around her just randomly blooming, just because she's so generally happy.
Very nice.
Right. Don't do spider toes. Don't do spider toes.
She just looks at him and does the toes more. Her expression never changes. But the flowers grow a little thorny.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you guys were to approach, there would be many druids and clerics and whatnot dedicated to the Wild Mother's faith here and there.
This is who I should have given the thing to. Shit. All right, I'll get to them.
Hey, the Dawnfather deserves it too.
Oh well, no, it's just because it was specifically a relic. The Wild Mother was.
Oh yeah.
Never mind. It's fine. It's good. No, I'm glad it's so good. It will go to a good place. Happy always had an attitude about wearing
it. Absolutely.
I never.
Is this like a natural place? Like it feels natural, not magical?
Yeah, I mean, there are people here. There are people wandering here and there and probably live here and certainly come to pray here. But it's very much like people living in respect of nature. And if you're curious, maybe there's a plaque or you talk to a priest, what have you, and they would say, "Welcome to the seat of rebirth. This indeed is the birth heart, the temple dedicated to Melora, but also know that this is not only that. This tree is known as the seed of rebirth. Legend tells that the Wild Mother herself planted this tree when Vasselheim was created. and thus it is a place where we venerate her most. So please enjoy her grace.
Are we allowed to talk to the tree?
Of course.
She sort of looks at Zarvolg and she's like, do you mind? I don't really have a translator.
Sure.
And she's going to go run up and put her hands on the tree. She's never actually cast the spell before. But this is speak to plants.
Okay. Let me just come up with a personality for this tree real quick. Okay, got it. All right, you speak to the trees. You feel the consciousness of this tree becoming aware. And it says, "Well, hello there. How are you doing today there, young lady?"
Oh, it's a great day. My name's Yvaine, and I'm a druid, and I was wondering if you were feeling talkative, if you'd tell me your story about the day you were planted.
Well, I imagine quite like all of you biped folks don't remember much about the day I was planted. Imagine I was just a little seed sapling, just put in the dirt right here, and that was some time ago. And now here I am, many hundreds of years later, more than an elf's age, and I'm standing a little bit taller than the rest of the trees now.
That's awesome. Happy Baron's Eve to you, tree.
Well, happy Baron's Eve to you as well.
And she's like, as Zarvolg says, he's very pleasant.
And Zarvolg kind of looks it up and down. And he's like, well, yeah, I would imagine.
So, we can stay in the warm as long as you'd like, but it is the Raven Queen's holy day, and one of the things on the list was to party in the Dusk Meadow, and the party tonight should be incredible. So, I was thinking we would stay warm here as long as you'd like, and then we go back to the Dusk Meadow, find our friends.
I see. Okay. Fair enough. It has been very nice here, and I appreciate this portion of the visit. But you're right, we shouldn't miss the party.
And they'll go back to the Dusk Meadow.
Well, you have a lovely day there, Yvaine.
Goodbye, tree. Oh, do you have a name?
A lot of people around here call me the Seed of Rebirth.
Is that what you want to be called?
It's a name that suits me just fine. It's what I've been called for a couple hundred years now. Is Yvaine what you like to be called?
It is, actually. All right,
well, that's good.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Enjoy your holiday. Yeah, all right. You guys will head back to the Dust Meadows. It does indeed grow late. We'll catch up with the rest of you guys, who indeed makes your way through the city to where would be largely unpopulated at the time, and you guys can make your way up the long steps through. It's a little bit of a journey to get to the top. Probably takes you like a good half an hour from foot to head to get to the very top of this Earth Titan. It's a big boy, but you managed to get all the way up to the very, very top as you make your little hike. Luckily, you're all adventurers and you're not unused to a hike. And you make your way there. And indeed, as you stand at the top, it you get it. It was a battlefield the likes of which you couldn't imagine. There are craters, there are holes, there are like the it's like you look over at the big hole in the mountain where you know that is essentially where like the gods battled and blasted a hole through the mountain, either in some misfire or intentionally so. This is very much like that on the top of the Earth Titan here. It's in a more compact way, but it's the same level of like holy shit power. It's only like a quarter, maybe less, of what you imagine was going on with that mountain over there. But nonetheless, huge craters carved into the side of this once alive Earth Titan. Craters, holes, blast radiuses, maybe even some rocks that kind of like almost float in the air haphazardly from the latent magic that once was here. And you can feel it, especially those of you inclined to magic. Nyx, you're a bard, and sound is very important to you. Maybe just like at the edge of hearing, almost like on the wind, you can hear this sort of like buzzing of like something beyond comprehension, something dark, but also great power. Sort of like almost like in the wind, you can feel it, just sort of as it whistles along your ear. Ember, in your very blood, you can, like under your skin, you feel that sort of like ickiness that you could only imagine is like the essence of Vecna and his power, the dark necromantic abilities, the untold arcane expressions that he brought forth. You could feel it like in your bones. Yeah, it probably grants a little shiver maybe. Finch, your divine essence as a paladin, your that which you are within your oath. It's not something you experience on a biological level. Maybe actually no, I take it back. You're ASMR, so yeah, you feel it, and I think very maybe not as intensely. No, you've got sorcerer in you. Yeah, you've experienced it, like Ember does, having that divine power inside of you. But there's also something almost philosophical about this place to you, something about like your paladin power, your staunch belief in your oath. It makes you think about the battle that transpired here. Maybe makes you consider that, some of the tenets of your oath. And Glint, man, what is there to be said for you, my friend? This was the epicenter of what you were trying to achieve here once, something you believed in staunchly enough to lay down your life for. Some horrific evil that transpired here, something that at one point, a power that you envied yourself, wanted for yourself. This was the ultimate frontier of good versus evil at one point, and you stand here now.
Now there's a bar in its asshole. The world keeps turning. And Glint, I think, has to reflect both on the past of that and like the trauma attached to it, but also just the present absurdity that has become commonplace and day to day, and that even the grandest of gestures and like the most terrible of acts will eventually just kind of be worn down and just becoming part of the world again. What kind of drinks do they have up in the butthole?
Very strong ones. Would you like us to go pop in?
As long as it can pop out again. I think it would be nice and somewhat cathartic maybe to have a drink there. And then we can head up to the top and take a look at the city from above. I think it'd be nice to share that with you. It was something to be whenever it was in motion, but I think it'd be nice to look at it even with it long dead now.
Absolutely. Let's go over to the butt.
Do y'all find this place just a little bit creepy? No offense.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Imagine this is what a warm bath feels like.
I think there's still probably a lingering of necromantic energy still infused within the stone here. Honestly, if I had more time, I'd probably want to carve out a few bits myself and study it. But that might be something of a gauche move on my part.
Yeah,
Well,
we do enough of that communally. You know, in for a penny, in for a pound.
That's true.
and if you had a hand in making it, I feel like you have a right to a little piece of it. A little piece of it.
Oh, he was raised by the Whispered One. His power was sufficient to the cast to not really need all the cultists around it, but the remnants did help pull him into the world and help him ascend. That was largely on task. I was something of a peripheral member. If I was more senior or important, I'd probably be missing an eye or a hand or some other such thing.
Oh yeah. I still say you get a little piece. Maybe by the butt when we get our drink. Maybe there'll be a loose bit. You can just pry off there.
Sure, we'll carve out a hemorrhoid.
To the butt.
Okay, to the butts. You guys leave. Gumbo lingers for a moment extra, and then kind of leaves with a big smile on his face, having just enjoyed the experience. And you guys make your way down to the interior of the body, where there would be some skulls and whatnot here and there, various cultists who met their end within. And indeed, you make your way down to the butts of the Titan and find a very small dive bar. Oh God, what was the name of the nice gentleman that you met, Nix? Do you remember?
Oh no. I don't know if I wrote it down.
Now, when you say there's cultist skulls, are they like embedded in the wall or just left in the corners? Is it like a catacomb situation?
It's not a catacomb situation. It's definitely like someone, Vox Machina, came through here and laid waste to anyone who was in their path, who stood between them and the beckoning.
Okay. And then just no one like picked up the bones after, as it were.
This place seems largely untread upon, other than the very simple footpath of those who probably use this place to travel upward. You get the sense that these bones have become something of a feature to like the historical nature of this place.
Mm-hmm. Glint resists
I did
the
not write
urge to
anything
grab
down.
the skull.
Oh, where? I think I. Come on, me. Did I write it down? Oh, actually, better yet, I think I didn't need to. No. Oh, sorry. Oh, Shanks! His name was Shank. You guys walk in to see this really straggly, thin tabaxi behind the table who goes, "Hey, welcome to Shanks' Cantina. Yeah, you want some... Hey, oh, you're back! I knew you'd be back. It's so good to see you, whatever your name is. Oh, welcome. Come kind of sit. Yeah,
I brought some friends.
Oh, you brought friends? Oh, you're making business turn here. What can I do for all of you? Do you want ale or do you want liquor?
Liquor, if you'd be so kind.
Liquor? I haven't even met her. Sorry, little joke. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll get you all liquor. And he'll come back out with it's liquor. He comes out with a couple of like mostly clean glasses of various shapes. Maybe one of them has a little crack, and he'll pour from this bottle an amber liquid with a little skull and crossbones on it, just kind of like pour each like, or whatever this is. Here's to you, bringing all kinds of new friends to Shake's Cantina. Welcome. It's really stuffy in here, by the way. All of you guys fitting inside, it's like you're shoulder to shoulder. It's a really tiny space in here.
What a fascinating place you've carved out here. Did someone have to tunnel this in, or?
Yeah, I did it myself.
Just what spurred the decision, if you don't mind my asking? Yeah.
Well, I thought I'd make a shitty bar in a shitty place.
Well, I can respect your.
And I feel like it's the perfect way. I think people of Vasselheim, I frankly, I thought more of them would, but I thought the people of Vasselheim would respect an entrepreneur who takes the time out of his day to disrespect what Vecna was trying to do. You know, I dug a hole in the asshole of his mean Titan thing. So, you know what? Boom. Shakalaka.
No, honestly, I understand. Hats off to you, sir.
Oh, you're a fancy type, huh? You come back anytime you want. Here. Yeah, I'll give you a free one on the house. Here you go. And he gives you a second.
Yeah. Glint's gonna drink both shots of rot gut, essentially.
Oh, fuck, it burns. Oh, fuck. This guy is not a skilled brewer. Whoever made this is not a skilled brewer of, like this whiskey is, it's a little early to be drinking it.
Are you
if you could
are
call
a
it
brewer
whiskey.
or an alchemist, friend?
Thank you for saying so. Yep, and then you know what? Drinks are cheap. The drinks are cheap. They get you where you need to go, if you know what I mean.
I think I do, wherever it is I'm trying to go. I haven't really decided that much yet.
Gumbo goes to my first imbibement of life, and will shoot back the liquor and be totally stone-faced because he has no circulatory system or digestive system.
This is my son.
Oh, wow, you're a unique fellow. Look at you. Wow, you man, you shine like a baby's fresh-born head. Good God, look at you. And he goes, thank you, I think. And he goes, well, another round? Okay, let's get another round. Yeah, you look, pour you all another round. He'll do like the thing across the bar where he just like doesn't end the pour. He just goes across all the glasses, spills somewhat on the bar itself. And he goes, so what do you all do when you're having a little tourist day? Oh, it's Winter's Crest. Happy's Winter Crest. Here, have another drink on me. And that's the third round. He's poured for all of you, fourth for you, Glint.
Yeah.
Some of these are probably not drank yet. He's just giving them to you.
We're having a bit of a pilgrimage and wanted to get a look down at the rest of the city, but we're still searching for somewhere to properly bed down as we wait out for midnight. Having a pilgrimage. Have you seen a man named Roderick come through yet? He was supposed to be meeting me at the cabaret, and he hasn't shown of yet, but I met him here the other day.
Roderick, nope. Never, I mean, maybe, probably not. Nope.
Fascinating. I'll keep an eye out for him. You surely didn't see him. One-armed, a friendly gentleman, a veteran.
Oh, dude, I know. Okay, yeah. He didn't come in here, but I saw him like looking all wistfully off the walls at one point. It wasn't today though. That was a couple days ago.
Right. Well, hopefully he'll come at the cabaret around dinner time, maybe, or sometime in the evening.
Oh, you are fancy, Velvet Cabaret. One day, right? One day. What would it be like to stay in there for even one night? Wow.
We're adventurers. We come into money at the cost of life and limb, but it pays the bills quite nicely.
Oh, you'll stay. You can be. Yeah, go ahead, Ember.
Ember will set 50 gold pieces on the bar. Tonight's your night. Happy Winter's Crest. If you're gonna go, tonight's the night.
Oh. Yeah. He's gonna discreetly scoop up the gold and be like, "Happy Winter's Crest. Enjoy the rest of your drinks. I'll clean up later." And he'll grab like whatever bottles he had behind the bar into his arms and kind of like scurry out and like out of the bar and like behind. He definitely missed like 1 or 2 bottles if you wanted to take some of this horrific whiskey with you somewhere.
Now we have a place to wait.
That's true.
That's true.
I will say you guys have been out for like an hour or 2, maybe more. If you wanted to head back, there's a chance that the Velvet Cabaret will be like, be more hustle and bustle in the next little while. But yeah, if you wanted to hang out here for an hour or 2, you could be very certain that events would be in full swing for sure.
Should I make any saves for fucking horrible?
Sure, everyone's drinking. So how I do drink rules is your con modifier is the number of drinks that you can have without worry. And then, so he poured you all 4 or 5 for you, Glint, drinks.
So that'd be, plus 3 cons, so I think 1 or 2 saves then,
Yeah, so you would roll, you have plus 3 con, roll me 1 save, give advantage because this is poison.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's like 2 bottles still around in this liquor, and you guys can buy them.
It's 16.
Yeah, you're fine. DC. Hot DC 10. There. Yeah, and you guys can just sit and drink and enjoy for a little while. And eventually, like an hour or 2 passed, and, whichever amongst you would have liked to have enjoyed their imbibements, feel free to be at that point, at whatever point you want to be, or you think your character would be. And you guys can stumble out of a slightly stuffy tavern a couple hours later. Gumbo saying, or actually, let me ask, who here's intoxicated, out of curiosity?
I think Glint at the very least would be tipsy, just given this is like pure turpentine style moonshine situation, right?
Oh yeah, this is high content. This is like, when they say like dwarven whiskey's great or whatever. I think the idea there is that A, it's high proof, and B, it at least to some degree levels out how high proof it is, because if dwarves want to drink to get drunk, they need to drink a lot. So
got it.
But yeah, you can be a little in your cups. And you all step out and make your way back. Fantastic, if you wish. Do we want to say you all meet up at the Dusk Meadow?
Yeah, that's fine by me. I don't have any other particular plans. I don't think I'm actually going to drink this stuff. It smells horrid, but I will set it on fire and then make a little, with control flame, make a little dancing figurine on top of the glass.
That's very cool.
Doing
and
flaming shots.
It's easily flammable. It's shit. Yeah, you do so, and it's a fun time. But yeah, you guys all sort of descend and make your way back to the Dusk Meadow all together, in which you bump into Zarvolg and Yvaine at a certain point, and you guys are a little later in the night. I'll say, like, the sun's sort of set just barely. The streets are illuminated by these strange lanterns, and you probably have like 2 hours before midnight, before the midnight revelry, and certain establishments are in full swing.
All right, so are we going to do the merriment at the Velvet Cabaret? I assume there's a full show there, or is there, like, we said there's a full? What's on the menu? What's going on?
Gumbo says, "You're alive."
Oh yes, this allow me to educate you in a concept called object permanence. Whenever
Yes.
people go away, they're not always gone forever.
Oh,
Yeah, sometimes they're just off doing things.
oh, I figured that once I stopped seeing someone, they were gone forever.
No. That's what memory's for, so that you'll remember them and then maybe see them again.
So you're saying that, and acting very much like neither of you are there, he's like, so you're saying the white-haired woman with the pointy ears and the lion man, they were off doing other things. They are living their own lives.
The Lion Man?
Yes, the one with fur.
Zarvolg?
Is that what they call him?
Maybe?
I was called this once too.
Yvaine has the biggest smile on her face. It's kind of pets him. Knowing
And he's like doing one of those like,
Kevin.
and he's doing one of those very like loose like almost like kind of like make batting, like he's not paying attention at all, but it's those very gentle like stuff that, and you just kind of like,
It might be.
it's very interesting to think that just the same as I do, other people live lives while I can't see them.
It is true. They're all going through their own stories, and the Titan that we visited once was used to end a great many lives, and now even that is simply part of the background in the scene setting. People are very interesting things, Gumbo, and shockingly resilient ones.
I was going to say fragile, but sure, resilient too.
Oh, well, resilience is actually found in fragility, I think.
That makes no sense to me at all in any way.
Well,
Those are two opposite things that you have said.
Well, with the pressing of time, no tragedy is so great or so terrible that it cannot be forgotten, and I think part of that is because we're so used to things breaking all the time.
Do you, Father, forget your tragedies?
Some of them. I try.
Interesting. Well, that's all for me for the next little bit. I'm gonna think about that and try not to blink because it's scary when I blink because I think they're all dead if I blink.
Oh, it's all right. We'll be right here.
Yes.
Enjoy the
If I
dance.
close my eyes for too long, it gets very scary.
They have wonderful dancing here, and you seem to be fond of that.
Yes. And he'll wander some couple feet away and look down, like crane the neck around and look around a corner and like watch some dancers down the street.
What a delightful child. Sorry, how was everyone else's day? I'm doing quite well, actually.
Oh, all right. Well, seeing as how Zarvolg isn't here, and you were probably talking to Yvaine.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to my dad the other night, and
All right.
that's from Vasselheim, and he suggested a bunch of things to do, and the present that I actually had for Zarvolg is still at Gilmore's. It wasn't ready in time for the time I thought we were going to be back by then. So anyway, I thought, hey, it'd be fun to do a little scavenger hunt. So the first things on the scavenger hunt were to plant a flower at the abundant terrace and to pick one. And I did. And we did. And we met the tree. We met the seed of rebirth. It's the most wonderful tree ever. He's very polite. We spoke for a bit.
We've been showing Gumbo the town. We visited up to the top of the Titan and looked down at it, and then had a drink in its butthole. Which part is the O?
The drinking in the butthole part. There's a bar there, and
yes, there's a surprising amount of liquid down there.
That's all right. A part of the I'm supposed to climb up the Titan as part of the scavenger hunt. I'm going to fly. I'm not going to climb. Seriously.
I'd be happy to go back with you if you like.
Yeah, we can do that. I would love that. So we'll do that with it's part of everything. Yeah, I didn't want to do the whole thing just us. I wanted to do some of it. All of us.
The interior is very outside of the dive bar. It's very grim. There's a lot of names of dead people written on the walls. But it's good for pilgrimage purposes. The top is the better view. Well, you can see,
to be perfectly fair, it's also a little creepy feeling.
That is true. I could probably do great and terrible magics if I lived up there, but that would be a little sad. It's funny. I actually talked to my father yesterday as well. I sent him a sending.
How's Dad?
Yeah, he's still in Craghammer. With most of my family. My brother, I think, left long back, before even I had headed out. But I think he was, last I checked in, was studying to be a tailor. But the rest of the clan, as it were, the Tin Buckles, are, I think, still in Craghammer. I'd like to visit there sometime. It's been a very long while.
We should go.
Yvaine?
Yeah? Yes?
That talking head that you carry around?
Yes.
Do you need to have the person there? Or does the head do all of the talking that needs to be done?
The head does all of the talking, but you need to have at least a part. Like, you have to have a bone. At least a bone.
So a possession of theirs wouldn't work then.
I don't know.
Tonight is Winter's Crest.
But tonight is Winter's Crest.
The thinnest of the veil. Maybe
the
we
veil
could do
is
something.
much smaller. So
Look, if you're wanting to reach through beyond the veil and contact the dead, you are looking at, well...
Who are we trying to speak to?
My father? I never knew him.
She'll hand the skull to Glint and say, "This is more your field than mine."
Well, tonight should be about celebration. It's just hearing you two talk about talking with your father. I never got to know mine.
Well, tell you what, yeah, go ahead.
Forget that I asked.
Oh.
It was just idle curiosity.
I
think it's reasonable, actually.
Ember, you spend so much time in a very hospitality-oriented mindset that I think if we can actually do something for you for once, it would be something of an honor.
I would, yeah. Let us do something for you.
Well, I don't have any piece of him shy of this ring. This was his wedding band.
Could I see it?
Sure. And it's the ring that Ember disappears in and out of.
Oh, you have quite the attachment then to this one.
It serves multiple ends.
Is it comforting to be able to take refuge in something of his?
That's partly the reason that I selected that as my focus.
If I might ask, what was his name?
Now I have to go look, because my personal memory is for squat. These things are written down, so I don't have to remember them.
Yeah. The benefits of Google Docs.
No, it allows you to speak with a corpse, and the corpse still has to have a mouth. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we could use it as something of a larger ritual, maybe.
Oh, but in this case, the skull is the head with the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So actually,
we have a
possession might
possession,
work.
And the veil is thin, and I mean, I'm a necromancer, and you're something of a...
Joshua Banzile.
Sure. I don't want all we might be able to
We lost him in Zarvolg. I don't know where they went.
Did Gumbo get both?
No.
Sorry about that.
Come back.
Zoom decided to eat itself.
Yeah, once Ryan's back, we'll see maybe if we can do anything regarding a ritual around this, because I think that would. And I promise, if it doesn't work, I will not ask to dig up his body.
It doesn't exist.
Oh, what happened to him?
His creation is
Gumbo's grown too powerful. Please stop praying for his health.
There we go. Sorry.
Welcome back.
He died during Thordek's assault on Amon.
Oh.
He was incinerated.
Were you This might be a terribly prying question, and one you might not know the answer to, but is the fact that you're a fire genasi tied to that at all? Just the elemental fusion?
Both of my parents were they shared that in nature with one another, and that's why they got together to begin with. Where that piece of the bloodline comes from, I don't really know. But both of them were fire genasi, and it was that, in part, that similar background that fostered fostered their relationship together.
I see.
But Mom was pregnant when Thordak sacked Damon, and Dad got trapped in the version 1.0 of the Spark, and Mom couldn't get back in to get him, but he was responsible for her being able to get out. But by the time that he got back, it was all cinders and ash.
Were you
as was most of them on.
Were you a child at the time, or was this
I was born while she was a refugee.
Well, from what I've seen, then he saved a wonderful woman and helped her then give birth to a spitfire of a son. See what we can do so you might be able to speak with him a while. Oh, welcome back, Ryan.
Thank
you. Question for you, DM.
Yeah.
So, we have Yvaine's dead-speaking skull, and also a personal possession of Ember's father's, which is his wedding ring. Would it be possible, with the thinning of the veil in Winter's Crest, to attempt some kind of working or ritual to allow Ember to have some moment of communication with his father?
Make an Arcana check, please.
Okay. I mean, he's
you are no master conjurer, or diviner. That's maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to use a charge on my ring to have advantage. It's going to be a 32.
32. Anything's possible with magic, as you well know. Yes. Normally, I'm going to go take a look at the item, which is in Yvaine's inventory. The Death Skull, as it's been dubbed. So, from the skull, you can spend. It allows you to cast the Speak with Dead spell from it. I think it is possible. I think you think it's possible. It is tricky, but luckily your party holds both A necromancer, and B, in some form or another, a diviner in your party. Between the two of you, it is possible, but it is a double-edged sword. The veil is thin, which means that it's easier to make connection with things on the other side, but just the same, it also makes it easier for things on the other side to make connections with you. It's risky, but it's possible.
I think we could do it. Perhaps a little dicey, but we could manage it. I'm confident.
I don't want to put anyone at risk. I've never known him, and it was just a thought, given given the day, the conversations, I made my peace some time ago that I would only have the stories that my mother could tell about him, and a small token of his to serve as an anchor.
I understand. Well, for what it is worth on my end, I am not afraid of taking a risk. And Yvaine, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are complicated. I'm absolutely willing to do this without reservation. I also know that it's entirely possible that I'm carrying in me some extra planar thing. Sightless has been quiet for a while. If the veils are thin, it would be a good time for it to attack. For the record, I wish a motherfucker would. My intention is to evict him from my head before I leave Vasselheim anyway. So, I'm absolutely down.
All right. Well, sounds then as if you're not putting either of us in danger, rather we're volunteering. But the choice is yours.
I think if it could be done, I think I would like to.
Well then, I might need to do a late night shopping trip for components, but this sounds fun to me. So,
will it be necessary? If I have the skull and I'm casting through the skull, you still need the components.
probably want to at least form a circle.
Oh yeah, that's probably. I mean, I assume so. I don't mind.
Well, I will say, Glenn, you would know the means to do so, but this is certainly going to be an enhancement of the initial capability of the Death Skull. So there will be a certain ritualistic element to what you're doing. And it will be something that you and Yvaine will have to do amongst you, where you will use the power of necromancy to enhance the skull's initial power. In Yvaine, you will act as a divine focus for the spirit on the other side. So between the two of you, it will be something a little bit more ritualistically involved.
Yeah.
But thanks to the thinning of the veil, it should be easier than it normally would be.
Yeah. I think I could put together a ritual to empower the skull and ultimately channel some of my magic through it and probably attune the various necromantic energies of it to actually pierce beyond the veil. And then, as more of the diviner, you would be the conduit to actually speak through and be spoken through.
I can give you 3 questions, Ember. And he would only have the memory of things that he existed through, so it's not like he's been watching since he passed.
Yeah, I will say, Glint, this is a note, this will technically not be casting Speak with Dead. This will be beyond that. So you won't be pulling knowledge from the corpse of this individual. You will be
contacting the spirit therein. Yeah.
Yeah, you will be using necromancy divination to contact the spirit itself. The immortal soul of this individual would be more toward what you're up to.
Yeah, from what you've described, it sounds more akin to being ridden by a Loa spirit.
Yeah. Oh, look at you, knowing the Loa.
Yeah, I do my research.
Love that.
Yeah, so tell you what, I can tonight's the night. Ultimately, it's the best chance we have. I can set up a circle, get some things put together for it, and then begin the process. And then we'd want to pick a nice venue that has the right sort of energies for it, and ideally probably somewhere private where someone can't just smuggle along in and be put in danger or screw up the process. I can do what precautions I can to help you be safe, Yvaine, but you are going to be the connecting point here.
So here's what I'll say.
Yeah, go ahead.
As this ritual, we will do this ritual next week. And we'll say, Glint, Yvaine, the rest of you, all begin to sort of walk down the street musing about what you all require, what will be involved. Glint, you've probably done stuff similar to this. Not this exactly, but similar. So you all begin walking down the street musing about the arcanes of what's going to happen, combining the arcane of necromancy and the divination, the primal divination powers to culminate into this ritual. I'm going to say, Nyx, as you're trailing, or everyone begins to trail down the street, and you guys were sitting in some, the side of some street. You hear this like very, very slight sound, and nothing exceptional, like a small landing sound. Turn your head over of interest, and on this Raven Queen altar, where there's offerings and whatnot to the Raven Queen, there is a very rudimentary raven head that represents Raven Queen. It's a statue that represents Raven Queen, and on the head of that stone statue sits a cat that is looking at you. It is a snow white furred cat with a single black ear that trails down its back along the side of its body, and its tail is also black that just sort of kind of waves down low behind it and looks at you with sort of steely blue eyes as it just kind of sits on the head of this raven and looks at you.
Nyx is probably gonna duck over and go look over there real quick.
Okay. You approach the altar. It's not terribly far from where you are. It's a couple short paces as your party makes its way down the street. They kind of lose track of you in this moment, but like easily caught up with. They definitely make a scene, and you kind of stand before the altar of the Raven Queen with this cat sitting atop it. Hang on a second. Okay. The cat will look at you and how does the poem go? The cat speaks and says to you. I'm scrambling. Look. Oh, that's right. As it sits upon the raven head, this cat looks at you and speaks verbally to you. It says, how does the poem go? Is this where I'm supposed to say nevermore?
I haven't forgotten what you asked me. I'm still searching.
That's so nice. Well, here I am. And I don't know anyone other than you. How do you feel about having a cat?
I would rather like that.
Yeah. So long as we agree that to your friends, I am just that cat.
Of course. Nothing more.
Then the cat will pad down, as cats do, gracefully down to the altar and then down to the ground and kind of like do like the cat thing along the side of your leg. And kind of like look up at you and kind of let out a little, and then sort of begin to pad down the street in the direction after your party. And that's where we'll end the section.
Oh yeah.
Woot.
Damn, all kinds of interesting directions. I just got to give you guys downtime and